Good evening and welcome to the City of Montgomery regular City Council meeting for August 12th, 2025. It is 6 p.m. Ms. Secretary, we do have a quorum, and I'd like to remind everybody, thank y'all for being here. If you wouldn't mind turning off your phones to ensure that we are not disturbed during our meeting, that would be appreciated. With that, I'd like to ask Mr. Donaldson for the invocation. Please stand.
Heavenly Father, you know it's our usual stance to pray for knowledge and wisdom to help us make right decisions for the city of Montgomery. But my heart tonight is leaning towards things that are happening right here at home. We have a police officer whose wife is going into surgery soon. We have a secretary that has lost a loved one and has another one going into surgery. We have another secretary whose husband has been admitted to the hospital. And we have a council person whose daughter is going under. So Father, I just thank you that you intervene in these circumstances and do what only you can do. Bring your love and compassion to them. Help them, Father, to get through these difficult times. Let them know, Father, that you're there with them, that we pray that the surgeons are guided by angels, Father, so that they do the right thing. Father, we thank you, Father, in advance for taking care of these situations and for bringing it out all for the good. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Amen. All right, the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. I did not receive anything, any requests for the public forum, so we'll move right on to presentation. Item number 4 on your agenda. Proclamation commemorating the 250th anniversary of the signing of the American Declaration of Independence. And then we have some special guests here. Proclamation commemorating the 250th anniversary of the signing of the American Declaration of Independence. Whereas the American colonists were being governed by a remote monarchy who was taxing, regulating, and bringing troops into the 13 colonies. And whereas the colonists were being strong-armed by those British troops and fired upon in Lexington and Concord on April 19, 1775, along with other oppressive actions by the British monarchy. And whereas the Second Continental Congress of those 13 colonies established a Continental Army of colonial militias on June 14, 1775, and whereas, after further conflicts with England, the 13 British colonies bonded together to declare their independence from the British monarchy, and where, on the 4th day of July of the year 1776, representatives from those 13 British colonies signed a Declaration of Independence, pledging their lives and fortunes to the cause of liberty from a monarchy which a complete severance of British rule over the 13 colonies was proclaimed, which established the 13 colonies as an independent nation. And whereas this Declaration of Independence by 13 autonomous colonies from the greatest military nation at the time was a momentous move by unfounded and funded separate colonies who united in their fight for independence and to observe the rights of man, as blessed by their Creator, holding that all men are created equal and are endowed with the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And whereas the Declaration of Independence has served as a beacon of hope and inspiration for those who cherish such God-given rights across the globe. And whereas the 13 British colonies were successful in their fight for liberty and freedom from a great military power, which was the basis for establishing these United States of America. And whereas the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence represents a momentous occasion in the chronicles of the United States of America and of mankind throughout the world. And whereas the city of Montgomery, Texas is a part of these United States of America, and now therefore I, Sarah Countryman, Mayor of the City of Montgomery, Texas, do hereby call for commemoration of the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The City of Montgomery City Council encourages all residents and organizations to join us in the celebratory commemoration of the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence from tyranny. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the City of Montgomery, Texas, to be affixed to this 12th day of August, 2025. Ladies, if you would please come forward, we would love to present this proclamation to you. Thank you so much for ensuring that we understand where and when our country began. Good to see you. Would y'all like to take a picture, or are you good? There you go. Oh yeah, I guess so. Very good. One more. Okay. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Absolutely. Good to see you. Yes, absolutely. You're on my calendar.
You just died. This thing won't last 20 minutes, so.
Okay. All right.
I'll share with you.
Okay, on to the consent agenda. Item number 5 on your agenda. Consideration and possible action on the City Council regular meeting minutes of June 10th, 2025. Number 6, consideration and possible action on the special joint CC and MEDC meeting minutes of June 16th, 2025. 7, consideration and possible action on the City Council regular meeting minutes of June 24th, 2025. 8, consideration and possible action on the City Council special meeting minutes of June 30th, 2025. 9, consideration and possible action on the City Council regular meeting minutes of July 8th, 2025. 10, consideration and possible action on the City Council workshop meeting minutes of July 14th, 2025. 11, consideration and possible action on the City Council regular meeting minutes of July 22nd, 2025. Number 12, consideration and possible action on a second and final reading of a resolution of the City Council of the City of Montgomery, Texas, approving a project and expenditure of the Montgomery Economic Development Corporation for the purchase of 0.2458 acres of land located at Montgomery Town Site 03, Block 16 in Montgomery County, Texas. 13, consideration and possible action on a second and final reading of a resolution of the City Council of the City of Montgomery, Texas, approving a project and expenditure of the Montgomery Economic Development Corporation for production of video promotional material with Pioneer Production Services, LLC. Number 14, consideration and possible action on a resolution of the City Council of the City of Montgomery, Texas, calling a public hearing to be held at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, regarding the proposed rezoning of a 58.952 acre tract located in the Zacharias Landrum Survey, Abstract 22, and currently zoned within a mix of R1 single family, residential, B commercial, and I institutional. 15, consideration and possible action on a resolution of the City Council of the City of Montgomery, Texas, calling a public hearing to be held at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, regarding the proposed rezoning of an 11.084 acre tract located the John Corner Survey, Abstract 8, and currently zoned within planned development and commercial. 16, consideration and possible action on a resolution of the City Council of the City of Montgomery, Texas, rescheduling a public hearing concerning amending Article 3, impact fees, of Chapter 90, utilities, of the City Code of Ordinances to review the land use assumptions, capital improvement plan, and impact fee amounts with the possibility of amending such amounts. Number 17, consideration and possible action on the quarterly investment report for second quarter 2025. Council, would you like to take these independently or cumulatively? What is your pleasure?
I have a question. On 12.
Absolutely.
In the statement here, it says the second and final reading. Do we have to read the resolution totally to make it the second reading?
No,
No.
that's not legally necessary.
Okay, that was my only question.
was captioned as the mayor read.
Okay.
And I make a motion that we accept all items as presented.
Motion by Ms. Fox, seconded by Mr. Donaldson, that we accept all items as presented. This motion is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. It's open for discussion. All those in favor of accepting all items as presented, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we will accept all of these items as presented. Regular agenda, number 18. Consideration and possible action on a resolution approving the Montgomery County Emergency Communication District budget for fiscal year 2026. I do believe we have someone that is up for consideration for that board, a couple of people, so if I would like for them to introduce themselves if you are here.
Mayor, that's the next item.
Oh, so sorry.
It's just the budget. And we do
Oh,
have
it's the
someone
budget.
who's presenting.
I was really excited about it.
That they're here.
You can.
You're ready. Thank you. My name is Chip Van Steenberg. I'm the Executive Director of Montgomery County Emergency Communication District. And thank you for this opportunity to come and present our budget to you. The district is an agency that coordinates 911 service among 5 different emergency call centers in Montgomery County. We work with the Sheriff's Office, with Conroe PD, with the Woodlands Fire Department, with the hospital district, and with the Conroe ISD Police Department, each of which we have equipment, 911 equipment in their call centers, and work with them to help make sure 911 calls get delivered. We also work with the originating service providers so that they know where to send calls. We maintain all the maps, the addressing with the official addressing agency from Montgomery County. And so as a special district, we present our budget to you every year. The story for this year's budget is that we're going to be in an operating deficit. This is something that was known and planned for. We are now fully on next generation 911 systems. The first time the 911 system has been redesigned since the original system built in the 1980s in a regulated telephone environment. That was a copper system. This is a copper analog system. This is a digital IP-based network, much more robust, easier to sustain and keep running, delivers a lot more services. With that comes higher costs. And we have approached the legislature over the last 6 years in an attempt to get them to raise the 911 fee, which has not gone up since 1997 when it was initially adopted, for cell phone service. That is our primary revenue source, is 911 fees off of cell phone service. Instead, the legislature has provided us different sums of appropriated money. In 2021, they appropriated us some of the COVID relief money in the form of a grant, reimbursement grant. We're going to spend the last of that this year. In 2023, they created the Broadband Infrastructure Fund. The voters created the Broadband Infrastructure Fund, and they allocated money out of that fund for 911. We were paid $3.6 million to help us cover our operating costs going forward. So we knew that we were going to be in a deficit situation. The legislature gave us some money that we have set aside in reserves to pay probably last another 5 to 6 years off of what they provided, while we continue to see how we can get a long-term sustainable 911 funding source. So our budget is a $6 million operating budget versus $5,670,000 in revenue. I'll be happy to answer any questions about the budget or any questions about 911 if you have.
What are your sources for the finances for the budget?
911 fees paid on phone service, landline, cell phones, and VoIP phone service. That's our only sources of revenue. As you can imagine, landline revenue has been in a rapid decline.
Yeah.
So yes, we have been getting more wireless revenue, but it's been offset by a decline in landline.
And personnel costs, are these the dispatchers, or can you tell me who what that supports?
Yeah, our largest line item is the money for the dispatchers. We pay for 20 positions at the Sheriff's Office and 5 positions at the Conroe Police Department. We pay for positions in those 2 call centers because those are the 2 primary 911 call centers. When somebody dials 911 in Montgomery County, it's going to land in one of those two locations based upon their location. If they need fire, rescue, EMS, that call is going to be transferred to a different call center. But so Woodlands Fire only, they did Woodlands Fire dispatches for all the fire in Montgomery County except Conroe. Your call doesn't go there originally; it's transferred there from the sheriff's office. So we pay it's about less than a third for the number of positions that they have that answer 911 phones.
Are all the responders using the same frequencies throughout all of the county?
There are two different radio systems. I believe law enforcement's all on one, and fire and EMS are on a different one.
Okay, so the dispatching is done by radio. They take a phone call and then they dispatch by radio.
They dispatch either electronically or by radio. So some calls go out strictly on a terminal that an officer
Can read, yeah.
Any other questions?
Mayor, for the record, this would be proposed resolution 2025-27.
Okay.
Make a motion to pass item number 18 as presented.
A motion by Mr. Olson,
Second motion?
second by Mr. Chulowitz, that we accept item number 18 as presented. This motion is debatable, amendable, or requires majority vote. It's open for discussion. All those in favor of accepting item number 18 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we will accept item number 18 as presented. Number 19. Consideration and possible action on casting a vote for the nominee to represent the cities and the county on the Montgomery County Emergency Communication District, MCED or MCECD. That's really hard to say. But if there are any of the candidates here, please feel free to come forward.
Well, we're going to.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. But if you'd like to say anything, you may come up to the mic or wave to the people.
Glad I didn't have to make the presentation. Those are tough questions. I couldn't answer. Now, I've served on that board for over 10 years. I've been the board president for most of those years, so I appreciate y'all's past support, and I would appreciate your support again tonight.
And we appreciate you coming this evening.
Yes, thank you.
I'll make the nomination to cast the vote for Paul Verganamo as our nominee to represent the cities in the county of Montgomery County Emergency Communication District, and I'm not going to do those letters.
The trickery.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Fox, seconded by Mr. Olson, that we approve the nominee for the city of Montgomery as Paul Vergadamo to represent us at MCECD. This motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. Open for discussion. All those in favor of accepting Paul Vergadamo as the nominee from the city of Montgomery, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we will accept the nomination and support Paul Vergadamo for the MCECD Board, Montgomery County Emergency Communication District. Thank you. Item 20. Consideration and possible action on a City of Montgomery alcohol beverage license application filed by Napoli's Italian Grill and Bar.
Mayor, Council, this is a standard application request. Mr. Marco came in June and began the process with the city. TABC has permitted their license, and now he's here requesting for one for the city of Montgomery.
Is he here this evening? Okay.
I make a motion to approve their application.
A motion by Mr. Olson to approve their application for the alcohol beverage license application.
Second it.
Seconded by Ms. Fox. This motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. It's open for discussion. All those in favor of accepting and approving the alcohol beverage license application filed by Napoli's Italian Grill and Bar, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we will approve the alcohol beverage license application filed by Napoli's Italian Bar and Grill. Item 20 on your agenda. Consideration and possible action on the proposal, I'm sorry, this is 21.
Yeah.
On your agenda, consideration and possible action on proposal for architectural services by Engineered Buildings, Inc. for the pre-design, concept design, compensation, and authorize the mayor to execute the agreement for services and authorize the payment for $25,000. Please, the engineers are present this evening? Yes, hi. Feel free to introduce yourselves.
My name is Dennis Plumbing. I am a resident of Montgomery County and have an opportunity here to assist the city of Montgomery and I'd like to help you guys fulfill your dreams. So we're trying to help out and get this thing rolling for possible growth. And I have my architect, John Stevens, with me. If you have any questions regarding it.
I do have some questions. So concerning pre-design, concept design, are you going to meet with us to kind of get what we want to, what we're all looking for, or are you just going to throw a design at us?
Yeah, hi, I'm John, the architect. That's one of the first things we'll be doing is meeting with everybody involved. We've already had some discussions with Brad and the chief. My job will be to create a program, meeting with everyone and creating a design narrative and a program outlining all the needs and the wants that you guys are interested in having in the discussion.
Very
So
good.
yes, there will be plenty of conversations to be had.
I got a question for Alan. Alan, does this have to go out for bids?
It does not.
Okay.
I have a question also. John?
Yes.
In all of it that you're going to do with the 3D scanning and stuff and the civil engineering, do you have a general contractor that you appoint, or who oversees your procedure?
So we're a design build firm, Engineered Buildings, Inc. We will be the general contractor.
You are the
and
general contractor?
As the designer as well, yes.
Okay, and I apologize for this, but in prior administrations, we've had programs that we've spent money on that I don't feel like that we were fully compensated for. So I just had a few questions like that, and so you will meet with everybody, and what happens if at the end, when you show us the concept that was $7,500, and we decide that we really want to change it somewhere, will there be extra money added to that?
Nope, it's my job within that. So this is just initial concept. So we will present a concept that we hope the first or second round of concepts will meet your desires and needs. But there still will be a round of full design when we get the full A&E proposal. So this is just the pre-design and concept is to really get the existing conditions documented and modeled so that we can begin to get a full architectural and engineering team involved. So the part of that will be the 3D scan, which they come in and scan the entire building inside and out. They create a point cloud, which then allows me to put it into my software to model the existing conditions. And then from then, we will have, hopefully I've already had multiple conversations outlining, creating a program. And then with that existing conditions model, I will then create a design concept, and we'll work back and forth between the team to execute what you guys and what my recommendations and what you guys are looking for. And then at the end, hopefully that meets, that's just an initial design. So there still will be plenty of time to tweak things, add different programmatic elements, and tweak it won't be a final design, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so are y'all going to be responsible for the performance bonds for all your subcontractors?
Yes.
Okay, and the city will be named in the performance bond,
I
correct?
believe so, yeah.
Okay.
I'll
What
refer
other,
that back to my boss, Rob. I believe that's
And of course, we'll have reports from our engineers too, correct?
correct.
Okay.
And all of our engineers are local to Houston, so we've partnered with a pretty diverse group. I believe the civil engineering we have a proposal from L2, they're right here, and I believe in Conroe, some of them are probably here. And then IMEG is a Houston-based engineering company that they have offices all around the company, or the country that we've used. So they have a pretty extensive library.
Just a general question, how long have you lived in Montgomery County?
I don't live here.
I've lived here 3 years.
How long? 3 years, okay.
have you done any other architectural designs in the construction in the immediate area here?
In the immediate area, no, I have done a couple projects in Texas, but not in Montgomery. No, we just opened up an office. Dennis has been here for 3 years, and so we're making the investment moving.
Where is your office?
Right now, we're headed in Ann Arbor, Michigan, but we also do work in Ohio, Texas, Georgia.
No, where's your Texas office?
I have a Montgomery.
Oh, in Montgomery.
Yeah.
Alan and Brent, I have a question. We have a resident that has done building like this for cities, and just wants to be on the advisory, just not to give direction, but would like to be involved. Are you okay with that, or take that offline? Just wanted to ask. They've had just another set of eyes.
Sure, it's fine for the city to have, advisory
Resident impact.
assistants. Obviously, they have no formal authority.
Sure, absolutely. I think it's just wanting to add value if possible, not to make decisions, but just another set of eyes for, okay.
I think when we get further into the process, then that would be the perfect time when we have meetings and things.
You guys have any other questions?
No.
Could you give council business cards for yourself?
I can.
Thank you.
Great. And Dennis, what is your role? I'm sorry, I may have missed
I
that.
am a Texas manager.
A text message. Okay. Great.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And this, is that right? Thank you.
So.
Thank you very
is
much.
the parent company to-
Thank you, sir.
I can get one out of my.
Just want to make sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. I'm sorry, John, did you say you've done other like city halls and police departments or just, okay.
I can provide that list.
Yeah, well, I would just love to see the work too, I mean, if possible, if you have some,
Yeah, I don't have any.
Marketing slicks.
I have some, Brent's got the list.
Just curious.
Provide and
Okay.
share.
great.
Again, all these questions that we're asking only because just sort of been a little bit on the skeptical side from time to time sometimes.
Well, it's a very big purchase for the
This is a
city.
purchase
We
for
have
the
been, this has been our home for a long time. And so our goal, and I will speak for council because I've heard us say it, is to make sure that this building is well done for the next 50 years, right? And so we want to spend money once and only, and so we were very protective of our funds and wanting to make sure that this is a big leap for us.
That's our goal. So we-
I'm glad we share that.
yes.
Make a motion to approve architectural services by Engineered Buildings and Company for the pre-designed concept and to authorize the mayor to execute the agreement in a payment not to exceed $25,000.
Motion by Mr. Olson, seconded by Mr. Tulowitzki? Oh, Donaldson. Donaldson to accept the proposal for architectural services by Engineered Buildings, Inc. for the pre-design, concept design, compensation, and authorize the mayor to execute the agreement for services to not exceed $25,000. This motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. It's open for discussion. All those in favor of approving the architectural services by Engineered Buildings, Inc. for the pre-design, concept design, compensation, and authorize the mayor to execute the agreement for services not to exceed $25,000, say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we will accept item number 21 as presented. Thank you. Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Number 22 on your agenda, discussion on proposal to move city council meetings to Thursdays. So, you want to go?
This is input for you.
Well, so with the change in the legislature and talking to other cities, they require 72 hours, a true 72 hours. Today, we send out the agendas on Friday for a Tuesday meeting. They want it to be 72 hours working business hours and don't include the weekend. So that backs us up to Thursdays, which then backs us up that everybody needs to have their information to the city secretary by the previous Wednesday. So now we're 2.5 weeks out. Hyper growth and with what we're experiencing, that's going to cause delay in a lot of timelines for those that we're working with. And so I know the county is changing to Thursdays. I believe the city of Conroe is changing to Thursdays. And in hearing this, I asked the city administrator to put it on the agenda to see what the temperature was for council and get feedback.
I'd like to know more about what the problem is getting it out a day or 2 days earlier. I don't understand that. I mean, there's people doing it. It's a matter of shifting a day.
Well, it's taking out a weekend because those don't
I understand that.
count.
So you're talking that Thursday, Friday, and Monday are the 72 business hours that you need. So instead of that, you have to get the thing out on Wednesday, the agenda out on Wednesday, which is 2 days earlier.
But there's 5 work days.
I guess I don't know the inner workings to understand. The other thing is it does create a problem. We won't have a second one in November because the
We never
first.
do.
No, we never do. We never have 2 in September, maybe November or
Okay,
December.
I didn't know that.
That's okay. No, we celebrate.
Okay.
And I think some input would be, working with WGA and some of these
Yeah.
other people, it affects everybody.
Absolutely.
And whether it works for everybody or not, I don't know the answer to that either, because it's all just new.
Yeah. And it's,
Well, I would
What's your opinion?
think that backing it up, though, whether you're on a Thursday or a Tuesday, you still have to back it up.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I don't understand why we would have to move it. One way or another, the work effort's going to be the same. It's just a day of the week. And once it's started, it should be smooth just like it is now.
Yeah, I'm in agreement, Tom. It's going to take a couple of meetings to adjust,
Yeah.
right? And for people to understand that they can't just come in on Friday and get things on an agenda. But once they understand and learn that, it's like
Yeah.
anything, it'll take care of itself.
And they get burned once or twice and they'll realize that it's got to stay, it'll change. But
Yeah, because it really doesn't matter what day you throw it on.
it doesn't affect me
72
personally.
hours.
It doesn't affect me personally. I'm retired.
I was fixing to say, I'm retired, I don't care.
I just-
Whatever.
it's just been a hot topic. Even city administrator said that on a city admin chat room, I don't know, chat room, I don't know, whatever. There you go, that it's a hot topic. So it's something that, just up for consideration.
So Chris, from your standpoint,
Other
I
people do
apologize
that.
you got upset about it. Does it matter? Will it make a difference for you?
I mean, the real thing is getting the items in time to the city for it to go through the process. So, for example, anything decided tonight and it's trying to get on the next agenda, we're trying to wrap up that long.
Right.
So that's really where the time is. So like our meeting report that's in here was written July.
Well, I mean, time out though, you wouldn't have to have it wrapped up by tomorrow. You would have to have
But
it
2
wrapped
weeks.
up by Wednesday of next week.
Well, the request is
No.
to try to get items in. We're getting closer to, we're not perfect yet, but trying to get items in and done by
That's the city secretary's timeline.
Wednesday before the agenda is posted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would be tomorrow for the 26th. As far as the question on Thursdays, personally, we can make it work. I have standing meeting on the third Thursday of the month, but first, that's ABC, theoretically ABC. But to your point, yes, it's 2 days. It's that kind of the lead up time, because it's 2 days to get it posted. It doesn't change the lead up time and review time to get it on.
Yeah,
Right.
it stays the same.
So Mary Ann, from your point of view, does it make any difference?
She wants it on Fridays.
It doesn't really make a difference. I don't think moving the meeting changes anything, like Chris was saying, it doesn't change our timelines at all. So if we just, like he said, we have to have pretty much have to have everything ready by tomorrow and submitted tomorrow for the council meeting in 2 weeks.
If we move that to a Thursday, that means that we would have to have everything submitted by the
By that
Friday
Friday, yeah.
for everything to be ready. I foresee that that could cause a little bit of a problem because it could be, Fridays sometimes can be a challenge. And of course, if people are taking a long weekend, they might take Friday. And
Sure.
so I think it could potentially back things up for the city secretary if we're
Wait.
not able to, to hurry up and give us something back around the day after
Yeah.
council meeting for the next meeting.
So, Alan, what was, how many days did they make us extend, not just the 72 hours or something that everything has to be done like a week ahead of time now?
You have to be, the agenda has to be posted 3 business days before. But the way it's worded, it is, I can think of it exactly. It's before, it's before the 3rd business day before the meeting. So you don't count the day of the meeting.
Right.
And you don't count
The day it's
The
posted.
date that it's
the day it's
posted.
posted. You have to have 3 full days in between the posting and the meeting.
And weekends don't count.
Weekends don't
Yeah.
count because it's business days.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with Tuesdays, that's just my vote, but, it affects me
Ruby,
personally.
what's your input?
But, I'm not gonna bring that into the situation. I mean, I'm
We've just
flexible.
gone through a transition to adjust so that way we can be in compliance by the 9/1 effective date. And transition went really well, and I have found that with posting on Wednesdays, it's actually freeing up 2 days of my week to be more productive instead of constantly juggling back and forth on agenda items every day.
Okay, good.
Well, if it brings out more efficiency, I'm in favor.
But is that for everyone? I mean,
Well,
yeah,
well,
okay.
well,
I mean-
so according to Ruby, she likes it on Tuesdays.
Yeah, yeah.
So everybody's good with Tuesdays?
Yeah, I'm good
Sounds
with
like
Tuesday.
it. All right.
And you can always see how it goes, and
Yeah.
if it's
True
not
that.
working well, come September, October, make a change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not, this isn't your last time you can ever change.
True story.
Okay, I make a motion that we table this until the first
So it's
meeting
just a
in
discussion.
October.
Yeah. It's just a discussion. And I talked to Rep. Metcalf, and he said there's a few cities that there was some sliding of the dates, and I said, so all the cities in Texas have to pay for a few bad actors, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, Rocco. Next item on your agenda, number 23. Consideration and possible action, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Montgomery, Texas, amending Chapter 90 Utilities of Article 2, Water and Sewer Services to amend Division 6, Backflow Prevention, to the City Code of Ordinances, repealing all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict therewith, providing a severance clause and a Texas Open Meetings Act clause, and providing for an effective date.
Mayor and Council, proposed ordinance numbers 2025-10.
And I see that Mr. McElroy was on here, but I know he is out. So who
So
will
is
be
this,
answering
are we
questions?
talking about sprinkler backflow protectors? Are we?
No, restaurant,
So this
commercial.
does
I'm going.
not cover
Yeah.
private.
We're gonna have to hire another person to run around and test backflow.
Yeah.
Right. So this is only on the
They haven't been
commercial
done for
side.
years.
So the big difference, you already have a backflow ordinance. There's a couple major changes or changes of what's in here. One, currently, the backflow ordinance is set up that the city is responsible for completing the testing and backfilling the backflow. It's a headache to do so. So what this changes, it takes that responsibility and puts it on the property owner to do the testing and submit the backflow reports. The other things that are in here, it changes, the city or their assignee will keep a records of the certifications. So Mike has found a company for $1,000 a year that will keep the records and note the schedule. So if CBS is coming up on November 12th, they're keeping record of it. November 12th passes, they're sending out the notices and keeping track of those. And then finally, the last, or your current ordinance doesn't have any real penalties in it. And so this added in where if a customer fails to comply, within a 7-day time period of repairs or recertification, the city reserves the right to disconnect service.
Was this posted, this particular one? Anytime we have something that imposes a fine or a fee, we have to post it.
But not until you actually pass it.
Okay.
Chris, this is ordinance, backflows were a hot topic in 2019, and so that's this most recent, or are we cobbling
Right, this
together
is-
several?
This is updating.
Okay.
So
Is it-
yes, back, plan team-ish, I think the exact timeline,
Yeah.
it was a big push.
Yeah.
I was went down in the Lake Jackson area, there was the issue with the
Yes.
splash pad.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the new push around that time. This is just updating it, putting it more on the customers versus the city to try to keep track of.
So outsourcing
Does the
it.
ordinance require an independent tester rather than the owner itself?
Correct, it has to be by a certified
Okay.
Yeah,
tester, they
that's
have to
what they
submit their
submit.
certification.
Yeah.
Annually.
Every city kind of struggled with this because they didn't have a lot of people that were certified. Now plumbers and other people are getting certified, where the city, most cities don't have a large number of employees to do this. So
Yeah.
this is kind of just standard, how people figured out how to do this, how to take care of it, and how to manage it.
So we'll
Another
outsource the
mandate by the
records?
state that was really unfunded.
So it's on the customer, the commercial customer to get it done, and then we outsource the record keeping of it, and then they contact us to say XYZ hasn't done their backflow yet.
That's right.
And then who manages that piece? Who do they contact? Mike, and then Mike calls them, or Kristen calls it? Who calls the customer?
I do not know
Or
on
code
as far as
enforcement?
city staff, but I
Code enforcement.
believe that the company will initially send the letters
Yes.
and notify the business owners that they did not comply. If it gets escalated beyond that, where they still don't comply, and now we're into turnoffs, then of course city staff gets in.
Okay, so they manage that whole process until it becomes an issue or
Correct.
non-compliance.
It
Okay.
keeps a
that's-
live list going, so every time you know what's going on. That's
And-
the other burden on cities, because we didn't have anything in place. to do
Right.
this, so that now with, everybody's kind of figured out some way to do this.
Now, these tests are done periodically or only after?
Once a year.
So
Once
there's
a year.
an initial test that's laid out in here within the initial installation that the
Okay.
customer has to submit, and then it's an annual certification after that.
Okay.
Do you know where the company is that's the third party? Are they local? Are they
No.
Houston?
I just read he just sent me the email, but I didn't pay attention where they're from. They just take the data, they're just a data collector.
So they manage the record, and then they also call out, and all of that's for $1,000 a year?
My understanding is that there's an upload fee, kind of at this, so when the customer submits their results, there's a fee that goes with the submission, and then there's.
That they pay, the customer
It's on the
pays?
customer, yeah.
Okay.
And they pay it to the third party?
That's
Yeah.
my understanding.
So the city doesn't receive any money
Unless it's a
on it
fine.
anymore?
Correct. So the certification cost is paid by
Right.
whoever the owner decides to do.
Right.
If they don't, then it goes in, the uploading of the record, there's a nominal fee. I do not know the number. And then the letters get sent, if there's terminations, et cetera, then that's when staff will really get involved.
And I believe they also send the letters, reports to the state to meet that requirement.
I'm just thinking that's a low fee, so I'm wondering if they à la carte us. Well, I've had to call this customer 3 times, so it's $100 a call. Because the $1,000 to manage it and manage everybody's calendar and then chase them, that just doesn't sound like that might be a base price and then we get à la carted after that?
I do not know.
Okay. Or does that sound right?
I get what you mean, but I don't think that's right, because they get, as they do the renewals and all of that, they're handling that, and the private individuals are also paying.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
They're getting
Yeah.
rid of the owners.
So the
It just
owner,
seems-
the owner's cost really kind of offsets the cost
Yeah.
that they're charging the city, correct?
That's where their revenue stream is.
Yeah. So how is it being done right now today?
How it's being done is.
It's not.
It's
Right.
not.
There's a large hole. And so The initial backflows are getting in, they're getting certified when they're being installed, which is your building official, and on all the plan reviews, they're required to have them. So they're getting in, it's that annual certification and testing that has been.
So is the city remiss on a legal aspect for not doing the annual certs?
That I didn't.
Say it again?
Is the city remiss for not doing the research on an annual basis?
No,
It's on
because
the actual customer.
this is why you're fixing this ordinance, unless you say that you're responsible for that. Most cities have gone with the initial, and they take care of that, and then the annual renewal, they're farming out, because you just don't have staff to do that annually. I mean, you'd have one guy going around doing all this all the time. That's why it's
So
being pushed to the private.
I make a motion that we accept agenda item number 23 as presented.
A motion to accept number 23 as presented. Motion by Mr. Donaldson.
So I have a question about, it says the fine or the fee here in the recommendation that there'll be a fine or a fee, but nowhere in the ordinance do I see where it calls out what the fine or a fee is.
Yeah, you'll have to reestablish that.
Well,
We'll have to decide on that.
But it needs to be in the ordinance.
Yes, but I think you'll have to do that at a.
This is a draft, so when they will come back.
So,
That's not a
This
draft.
is this is draft.
Yeah, but it goes,
It's an ordinance to correct it, but I don't know
Yeah.
that you're gonna set the fee schedule.
Just take.
Because that's the thing is that
It says there's one, but there's not one stated.
Because we don't have anything for that fee yet, so now we're gonna have to, if you accept this, then we'll.
well,
And then we gotta come back and accept it.
Yeah, but we only have so many days to get it posted once we pass this ordinance change.
Right,
So-
right.
It was trying to get all of your fees into one section of the ordinance. So when you do updates, you're not updating, every section, so you have one schedule of fees. So I believe it's on the list.
can it be stated to a fee as required by a certified tester?
And it
What are you
does
talking
say,
about?
We
Certified
don't
tester has
care.
nothing
There's
to
a
do
fee
with it.
when they default and they don't get the tester. That's when we can find them.
The customer pays for the tester, the
Yeah.
customer pays for the filing, so that.
Okay, you're talking about the fine.
It's when
I'm
they're
talking about the
delinquent,
fine.
when they're delinquent,
Because it calls
yes.
out a fee or a fine if they don't do it, right?
Yeah.
But nowhere does it say what the fine is.
What's the typical fine for this? Is it thousands? Is it $10?
No idea.
and it is, if we do pass it tonight, then it becomes effective immediately, is that correct? That's what it says here
The
anyway.
framework for it.
effective until you actually publish notice of it.
But
Well,
that's the
It says this
thing,
ordinance shall take effect immediately on its passage and publication.
because it says a fine on it, we have to publicize it, right?
Why don't we figure out
But
the
we
fine
don't know
and
what
bring
we're
it back?
publicizing, so we need to table this until we get a fee.
Okay.
Okay, there is a motion on the table. Is there a second?
I'll amend the motion to table this until,
You're accepting it as presented with an amendment?
I'm just gonna amend it and table it.
But he's
He's already,
already accepted it how it's presented. So you're saying you're going to accept it how it's presented and add an amendment?
Yes.
Okay.
To table it.
There's no second.
There's-
There's no second, so you
There's no
gotta do.
second.
Well, you can't accept it and then table it. You have to either table it or accept
Let it
it.
die, make another.
Yeah, let it die. It's dead. Okay.
okay, now, Casey.
There is no second.
Yeah, so I'd make a motion to table this until
He is a
the
comment.
fee is included in the ordinance, or in the table of fees within the ordinances.
A motion by Mr. Olson that we table item number 23 until there is a fee established in the table of ordinances.
I second the motion.
Seconded by Mr. Tulowitz, that we table item number 23 until there is a fine established in the table of ordinances. This motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All those in favor of tabling 23, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we will table number 23 until a fine is established for the table of ordinances. Number 24 on your agenda. Consideration of possible action to approve the fleet lease agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management for 3 police pursuit vehicles 1 police pickup truck, and 2 public work pickup trucks. Ms. Carl.
Mayor, council, good evening. What you have before you this evening is the add-on to what we had brought to you last year. We had entered into agreement with Enterprise Fleet for vehicles last year, and the program has worked well in both Public Works and the Police Department. So this coming year, the Police Department would like to bring on 3 new Dodge Durango pursuit vehicles, 1 Chevy Silverado, and Public Works would like to bring in 2 Silverado 2500s. These numbers have been included in the proposed budget that we've been discussing, and that will be up for consideration this evening.
Is this CCP?
So yes, some of them
Right,
are.
so the
Okay.
lease cost comes out of CCPD on the police side. On the public works and utility side, they're split 50-50, so essentially 1 in each department.
I make a motion to accept item number 24 as presented.
Motion by Mr. Olson,
Second
second by
motion?
Mr. Tulip. So we accept item number 24 as presented. This motion is debatable, admissible, requires majority vote. It's open for discussion. All those in favor of accepting item number 24 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we'll accept item 24 as presented. Number 25 on your agenda. Consideration and possible action to approve the proposed FY 2025-2026 tax rate for the city of Montgomery. Fancy seeing you here.
Mayor, council, the tax assessor collector gave us the calculation for this tax rate for this coming year. We discussed this in workshop last night. The new revenue rate is at 0.3663, and the voter approval rate is at 0.4537. Just to remind you that if you were to go to the 4537, we would have to get voter approval. So anything below that does not require voter approval. We discussed last night at the workshop that we have maintained what council has done for the last, I believe it's 7 years,
Somewhere
at 40
8,
cents. So that's what we're recommending, and that is what we've used in this year's proposed budget.
An item of note, I think you said that last night that 19% uptick due to growth. Is that right? That
Yes,
being
we
collected.
had
So I think that's an
19
interesting
parcels
fact.
added, which
Yeah,
of course
19%.
that can mean in
Commercial.
there, or 19%
Yeah.
increase in parcels, sorry.
Yeah.
So that could be, you know, like replatting, like that
Yeah.
type of thing. But yes, 19%.
That's significant. It's a
Yeah.
fifth of it.
Parcels, that's definitely significant. And just a reminder, this item does require a record vote.
Make a motion to approve a proposed tax rate of 40 cents per $100.
Second motion?
Motion by Mr. Olson, second by Mr. Chulowitz. Ms. Langley, we'll go by each person. Ms. Langley, what is your vote?
Aye.
Mr. Olson?
Aye.
Mr. Chulowitz?
Aye.
Ms. Fox?
Aye.
Mr. Donaldson?
Aye.
All right, we will approve. Item 25 is presented. Item number 26 on your agenda, consideration and possible action to approve the proposed FY 2025-2026 budget for the city of Montgomery.
All right. Your packet includes the proposed budget. Hopefully you all got a chance to take a look at the booklet style. As you know, we've been using the new platform this year. That's what gives us the ability to have the booklet style and give some added graphics to it. That is something that will be on the website, so it'll be more of an interactive piece for citizens. The information that's in your proposed budget that was in the packet has varied slightly based on last night's workshop. So I provided you with a supplemental document right before the meeting this evening. I'm just going to go through these so that we understand what has changed based on what's in the packet for this evening. So in Fund 100, in the administration, wages reduced by $7,005. Payroll expenses, or payroll taxes, reduced by $541. Workers' comp reduced by $19. And retirement expense reduced by $860. In Department 12, which is Public Works, wages decreased by $19,478. Payroll taxes decreased by $1,504. Workers' comp decreased by $580. And retirement expense reduced by $929. The net change for the general fund is a reduction of $30,916. In the water sewer, I mentioned this last night that we had updated information on impact fees projected for next year. So we went ahead and increased the revenue expected from impact fees. We increased it by $908,604 to a total of $2,078,604. In addition, we are decreasing the need, the use of surplus funds by $43,500. And the expenses in the utilities and water and sewer, wages decreased by $35,374. Payroll taxes reduced by $2,731. Workers' comp reduced by $1,054. Retirement expense reduced by $4,341. And impact fees transfer to the capital project fund increased by that $908,604. Any questions about the changes?
So Mary Ann, do you have a total of our total amount of our whole entire budget? Like a total amount? Is it 15 million? I didn't see it in here. No. There's the total amount of our budget that we're approving.
So it will be,
Oh, so, no.
Yeah.
13, it's like 14.
13.5
Okay, 13.5, okay.
between, for the operating fund.
Yeah,
So
okay.
the general fund and the enterprise.
That's what I was looking for, okay. That's what I was wanting to know. Just for the record, with our significant growth, as our budget is increasing substantially, remarkably, which is great. But I always like to know we were just, 7 years ago, we were 3 million. So, it's nice.
I make a motion to approve the proposed fiscal year 2025-2026 budget for the city of Montgomery to include the amendments from the budget workshop conducted on 8/11/2025.
Motion presented by Mr. Olson that we accept the proposed FY 2025-26 budget for the city of Montgomery, including the amendments made from the workshop August 11th.
Stand up, second.
And Mr. Donaldson, second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of approving the 2025-2026 budget for the city of Montgomery with amendments from last night's budget workshop from August 11th, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we will approve the proposed FY 2025-2026 budget with August 11th amendments. Thank you. Great work. Number 27, consideration possible action on a resolution of the city of Montgomery, Texas, calling a public hearing to be held at 6 p.m. on Monday, September 15th, 2025, regarding the proposed fiscal year 2026 tax rate and fiscal year 2026 annual budget.
All right, so the proposed tax rate is just,
Bless you.
Bless you.
and the proposed budget that you just approved will be posted on the city website. We're required to have that posted for 30 days before adoption, and we're required to have we're actually not required to have a public hearing, but we do, just out of formality, offer the public hearing so that the
September the 15th.
Yes.
What was that?
On September the 15th.
I make a motion to call a public hearing on Monday, September 15th, year 2025, at 6 PM to be held at Montgomery City Hall regarding the proposed fiscal year 2026 tax rate and fiscal year 2026 annual budget.
Motion by Mr. Olson,
Second.
second by Mr. Tulowicz, that we approve the public hearing to be held at 6 PM at City Hall on Monday, September 15th, 2025, regarding the proposed fiscal year 2026 tax rate and fiscal year 2026 annual budget. This motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we will have a public hearing at 6 PM on Monday, September 15th, regarding the proposed fiscal year 2026 tax rate and annual budget at 6 PM at City Hall. Number 28, consideration and possible action on the escrow agreement by and between the City of Montgomery and the developer Buddy's Living Trust, as authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement. Mr. Rosnowski.
Evening. This is standard development escrow agreement we've all seen before. This development is on 1097, immediately adjacent to Atkins Creek, where 1097 is currently covered with construction equipment for TxDOT's repair work of the channel. So what they're proposing on the site, you'll see a preliminary site plan, I believe, in your packet. Right now, it's just a shell retail building. There's a lot of details to be worked out. But we had a pre-development meeting with them. Next step is they get into an escrow agreement and then start in the approvals, variances, etc. process.
Are we concerned with the location and that waterway next adjacent?
Yes. And we brought that up during the pre-development meeting that, you cannot put a parking, space immediately adjacent to the creek. Now, once TxDOT completes their repair work, that first approximately 250 to 300 feet downstream from 1097 is supposed to have, is planned to have slope paving and stabilizing that section down to the rear property line. So that will alleviate a lot of the concern in that vicinity.
What kind of business will this be?
Right now, it's just a retail shell building. There's no details on build out or any potential tenants that I think that they provide at this time.
Any way we can prevent a smoke shop?
I'll leave that to Alan.
It would be based on the current zoning, so we have to look at that.
It's not red like yours
So how do we approve an escrow agreement on something that we're really not sure of? Just that's based on
So,
the land?
right, so these escrow agreements are typically put in before any type of feasibility, et cetera. That's kind of the first step on their development. So again, if they have any variances, they'll have to come back to this. Project is already platted, so they do not have to go through the platting process. That was completed with the watershed development. But other than that, it's really just their mechanism of funding the cost of reviews, administrative time, et cetera, for the development. They're not approving any portion of the development itself.
Is the proposed TxDOT repairs to the creek going to pass their property line?
TxDOT has already acquired additional right-of-way. So TxDOT purchased a strip of the creek where they're doing their work. They are currently staged on that property with their equipment, but I do not recall if they purchased from them or if it was all within the same property.
I just don't want any liability on our side because of the erosion.
Correct.
And, I don't know where the repairs are going to end, and the creek will be back to its normal, sediment. So I just want to be.
Yeah, and that's something that we'll definitely be discussing with them throughout the plan review process. Is, any developments that are along those creeks, that they have sufficient setback to make sure that there's in the event of a failure or further failures, that no one's injured.
Make a motion, we accept the escrow agreement for agenda item number 28.
A motion by Mr. Donaldson that we accept the item number 28 as presented.
Second.
Second by Mr. Olson. This motion is debatable, amendable, or requires majority vote. All those in favor of accepting item number 28 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay.
Nay.
The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we will accept number 28 as presented. Number 29, consideration and possible action on the partial replat for Hills of Town Creek, Section 5, development number 2406.
Good evening. So, as you all know, Hills of Town Creek was the last section of Hills of Town Creek over at Lone Star Parkway and 105. So, in the very northern portion of this property, there was a reserve that was on the back side of the lots. Planned to be there as part of their common center. Developer has since decided to make that into a park, and he needs access to it from the neighborhood. So the proposed replat in front of you reduces the size of the two lots immediately adjacent, puts in a strip in order for them to own that strip of land, to put in sidewalks to access the park and playground that they're putting in there. So if you'll remember back in March of this year, they requested variances to be able to do this, because in those lots, the setback would be a little bit less. That was approved, and this is now just a follow-up to it to officially approve the plat, have it recorded, and reset those property lines. P&Z did review this at their last meeting, and they
Make a motion, we accept agenda item number 29 as presented.
Motion by Mr. Donaldson, we accept item 29 as presented.
A second.
Second by Mr. Olson. This motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All those in favor of accepting item 29 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we'll accept number 29 as presented. Number 30 on your agenda. Consideration and possible action on extending the sidewalk installation deadline for one additional 1 year, following the warranty inspection for Montgomery Bend, Section 1 and 2, development number 2203.
Correct. Montgomery Bend, so the multi-development on 1097. So what is required is that developers install all sidewalks in the section by the 1 year period. That 1 year period for section 1 was August 13th, so tomorrow. And the 1 year period for the next section is October the 21st. Home sales have been slow than they expected, so they have a lot of sidewalk to complete. So what they are requesting is we've done the walkthrough for section 1. They'll identify the punch list. They're working through those items. What they've requested is that a 1 year extension on the sidewalk portion to have them installed by 1 year from essentially these two dates, so August 26th and October 26th, to have all those sidewalks installed. A couple things that are in here is one, we would rewalk all the sidewalks at the 1 year period. Any deficiencies they'll have to fix, and anything missing will have to be installed. We're also requesting or recommending they provide a updated bond that carries through the cost of those sidewalks through the next 1 year, because their current bond will end, or presumably their current bond will end for the full water sewer drainage and paving outside the sidewalks.
Make a motion, we accept agenda item number 30 as presented.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, we accept item number 30 as presented.
I have a question. Alan, what is our repercussion if they ask for another extension?
That's what I was going to ask.
You can choose not to grant it, obviously. You have a date certain, it's a 1 year extension, and it would be like, if you didn't grant the extension at all, they'd be required to go forward with that.
So if they just ghost us on the whole thing, so say home sells tank, and we give them the year, and it doesn't go in, which at the end of the day, they're hurting their own residents, right, that purchase from them. But is there any recourse that we have to mandate that the sidewalks go in for the residents that are there?
Why we would obtain the bond.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I second the motion.
Thank you.
Second by Mr. Olson. This motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All those in favor of accepting item number 30 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we'll accept item number 30 as presented. 31 on your agenda. Consideration of possible action on the acceptance of the public infrastructure within the 2023 Phase 1 Sanitary Sewer Rehabilitation Project and authorize the city administrator to sign the certificate of acceptance.
Right. On this item, so this is a project that obviously has been going on for a while.
Ever.
You remember this one has been dragging out with the contractor getting miscellaneous final repairs and videos over to us. They have now completed all of that work. We did a final inspection, identified punch list items. They have since addressed all those items. So this is just the acceptance of that project into the one-year warranty that would end on July 21st, 2026. At that time, we would rewalk the project, make sure nothing has formed, right, that comes up between there, and they would be responsible for fixing those throughout.
Make a motion to accept agenda item number 31 as presented.
Motion by Mr. Donaldson, we accept item number 31 as presented.
Second motion?
Second by Mr. Tulowicz. All those in favor of accepting item number 31 as presented, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we'll accept item number 31 as presented. 32 on your agenda. Consideration and possible action regarding the development agreement by and between the City of Montgomery, Texas, the city, and with Woodlands Methodist Church, the developer, for the development of approximately 14 acres located northwest of the intersection of Klepper Drive and C.B. Stewart Drive, development number 2501.
Right. So this item, obviously, we've been talking about the church for a while. The church is here. They'll provide an update to you on their project, their progress, their timeline that they're looking at. What's in front of you today is approval of the development agreement that has a couple main points to it. One is their funding of the water line extension across the frontage of their property, so from Klepper to their northern boundary. How this is worded and proposed, which is tied to the next agreement, is that they pay a pro rata share of their share of the cost of that project that's included as part of the larger PCS extension. And so each party pays into it, and one project's done, it's cheaper, it's more efficient to do one large construction contract over multiple. So they're paying their share of that project cost. There is no reimbursement or impact fee credit on this toward that line. The other thing in here is clarifying that they will be building the sidewalks along their frontage, from all along their frontage along Klepper and C.B. Stewart. At their expense, they would have to put up funds in order for the city to inspect it. The timing of this is the request, what's in this agreement in front of you, is that it is triggered on 3 events. So the reason of the trigger is one, they would like to get started to get the utility line not being delayed. So they requested to delay the install as well as just kind of laying out the capital. So right now there's kind of sidewalks, no sidewalks adjacent to them other than for the fern land where they end. And so there's 3 triggering events, which is the soonest of the events that would trigger that sidewalk element. One would be request for additional certificates of occupancy for any future phases of the project. So what they'll present to you and shown in this agreement, they have a couple of future buildings on the site planned. So we're saying that you can complete phase 1, when phase 2 comes around, the sidewalk has to get completed. Second triggering event is the adjacent property on the corner that develops. Now these aren't sidewalks to nowhere, so you have to complete the sidewalks at that time so we can interconnect and have the sidewalks complete. And the third is, never, go for an additional phase of the project. The corner doesn't develop. You have to resolve by year 3 of the date of this.
Say that last piece again?
They have to be installed by year 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Have to
in
start.
the event that they don't go forward with phase 2 or the corner doesn't develop, this is just dragging.
Gotcha.
Forever.
Okay.
So there's a timeline to it.
Okay, I got it.
Other items in here, just to note, so the oversizing of the water line. So in order to serve the size building, they need 8 inches required. Recommendation and per the capital plan of 12-inch. City, we have the ordinance in there that states the oversized cost share. So that's just memorializing that it's per the existing ordinance that's in place for that oversizing of that portion of the line. And with that, I'll turn it over to the church, let them kind of give an update.
I have a question first.
Yes, sir.
Under the Article 3 default and termination, it says parties acknowledge and agree that any substantial deviation. Now, what is substantial deviation from the terms?
I will let the city attorney know.
Well, it's anything that has any kind of real material effect. You know, not putting something in to be here or there would not be substantial, but if it has a material effect, then it's considered that.
Okay, and I'm coming from personal experience, and Chris knows this, okay? Town Creek Crossing, there's been a deviation or a default on the completion of the project there. It's been going on for 2 years, and we still haven't been able to settle it. Is that because of the term substantial, or are those punch list items, would they fall under substantial or not?
Not completing a punch list items would be a substantial.
Okay. Thank you. That's what I wanted to know.
So I'll let the church kind of give their update, and then answer any questions you have.
My name is Aaron Laird. How are you, Mayor?
Okay.
Thank you for letting us be here today. I just want to introduce myself and our team. We have been, we're the Church of Montgomery. We're a campus of the Woodlands Methodist Church, as Chris said. And we have 4 campuses. We have a campus in the Woodlands, Creekside, in Wood Forest, and soon to be in Montgomery. We have been much like the Israelites in the wilderness for the past 2.5 years. We meet at Oak Hills Junior High right now. And so Principal Gifford and I are good friends, and he's been incredibly accommodating for us, but we are ready to have a home. And so thank you for considering this today. I want to introduce real quickly Suzanne Bird is our Chief Architect with Coast Mine Architects. I've got Stephen Rector is our Director of Operations for the Woodlands Methodist Church. And Mike Christopher sits on our building committee. So I'm going to turn it over to them. I'm not sure who you'll hear from next, but thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. I am Suzanne Bird with the Money Architects. Now I'm going to go through just a few slides just to update everybody where we are and what we're doing right now. So this is an elevation of the rendering of the front elevation that you see here. And this is a side from the main parking area entering the building.
I'm sorry, what's the square footage of that building?
It is right under 16,000 square feet.
Okay.
Exact number of it. So this is the site plan for phase 1 that we will be submitting. Should have already been submitted to the first civil review once this is approved. So this is the phase 1 site. You see the building there, sort of in the middle of the L of the parking. We have 3 entrances, one off of Upper and 2 off of Super. This is the master plan. So as mentioned in one of the triggers, if we were to go to phase 2, we would install a sidewalk. So phase 2 would be where the building just gets a little bit larger. So you can see kind of there's a hatched area just off to the side. That would be increasing the size of the sanctuary to accommodate more people. So that would be the first one that would trigger the additional sidewalk. This is our landscape plan that has the trees all shown that are planted. This is the floor plan. Answer any questions you have about it.
Yeah, can you go back to the other picture about the sidewalk? Because in here it talks about the sidewalk going north. You're talking, that sidewalk that's extending to the west on Klepper. So that should be built all the way out.
Not sure which we have a sidewalk on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah, but you're talking about a triggering event to do the sidewalk. The triggering event would go to the north, not to the west, and your building's only going west.
So the first phase is the L from, if I'm right, they're up all the way at Buffalo Springs. That corner lot up there is not, that's the triggering effect. When that sells, they have to extend it to that corner lot. That's phase 2 or triggering effect, right?
Right, so that corner lot develops.
Right, that's where it has to go.
Okay.
But while it's not in use, they're not gonna put a sidewalk there.
No, I understand. That's what the agreement said, her drawing extended the sidewalk west.
If the corner tract is developed sooner than 3 years.
Because from that corner, it's west. No, it's south. Anyway.
It's really not.
It's north, right?
Okay. Floor plan, and you go with more. Elevations of the building, and just so you can see the progress of the drawings, they are complete. And then the next one is the schedules. So we have issued drawings to the contractor
What's your requirement for parking?
Designated by ordinance.
Yeah, it's our ordinance.
It's our ordinance, yeah.
So we have 600 and, I'm sorry, 450 occupants in the building. So I think our parking count that I cannot read off, but the one right above this. Say the parking requirement is right at 100. Yeah, thank you. You can give it up text right over here.
You're good.
We are exceeding the parking requirement by about 20 parking spaces.
Okay.
What is the current membership today? Mr. Lay?
Membership and attendance are drastically different things. So about a year and 3 months ago, we were about 101 in attendance. We're now 190 in attendance.
Okay.
It's growing rapidly.
90?
190 or
190.
109?
So it's about 80% growth over the last 16 months.
Wow.
And yeah, we anticipate that's going to continue. Membership's really hard for me to tell you because
Yeah. Well, the good thing is, I guess you're having visitors, you don't have to have members, right? You're having.
right. Attendance.
So then what's your projected max? Just curious because of looking at traffic patterns for
Yes.
that corner.
Well, we anticipate, Suzanne, do you remember those numbers? We did talk about some of them.
Or how many seats do you have?
Well,
Yeah, so we have about 300 in the current sanctuary, and so the idea in phase 2 would be that it could double, so it would be up to 600 max in the building, and that's why you see the additional parking possibility.
So 300 for phase 1, up to 600 for phase 2. Right? And the building is being designed such that it can be expanded.
Yes.
Very intentionally.
So you have more than one service, so the attendance would be split by the services.
Correct, you could. That's right. We're actually talking about doing that in the school.
But
Great
y'all are,
problem, great problem to have.
y'all are planning on a school also, correct?
Not the
No, they're
current
holding
phase.
it at school.
They're
They're holding it
holding
at
it.
Oak
No,
Hills.
no, I thought that they were going to plan on having a
There's
Christian
not
school.
one.
No.
Okay. That was just a wicked rumor then.
So then what is, so the white space on your footprint, is that gonna be landscaping? Is that gonna, I mean, it's cleared pretty much already for the most
There's
part?
nothing there now. It's just-
Okay, so are you gonna keep that green? Okay. And Chris, for drainage concerns to the west of there, that goes all the way down the back part of that neighborhood and then dumps at the bottom of the hill and goes under Abner and then goes out to Hills of Town Creek and at the end of the day, somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico. But, so drainage, how do I say this? So we've got sensitive drainage issues.
Right.
Okay. So is any of that drainage coming toward 105 or is it all going to go, and I'm asking this because the neighborhood is concerned, as you can imagine.
So when this section was originally designed, this is already a platted development. All the drainage was accounted for, this part of it. So this all goes back to, this is part of the.
In 2005?
And the 2004 drainage study, the 2006 subsequent drainage study, and it all falls into that. So this was a platted development, the drainage and everything was accounted for during the design of, it changed the name multiple times, but Estates of Lake Creek, which is at the last piece of Adler Drive, that counts for drainage coming from this site underneath and down.
So I understand this is phase 1, but if I remember correctly, when this was initially brought before us, there was plans to put 3 buildings on this property. Is that still in the works?
Not in phase 1. If you go back to the master plan with the color site plan,
Well, not phase 1, but
Phase 2 and 3?
right, phase 2 and 3. So there are 2, so you see the green areas, the bright green areas, just above that are 2 planned buildings possibly in the future. One is a pavilion for sort of outdoor eating and gathering, and one is a smaller chapel. And those would be the other 2 buildings in that.
Chris, would there be any kind of detention pond on that acreage?
There will not.
Okay.
And what, so, let me clarify that. As long as they're following the initial assumptions that were included in the drainage
Okay.
analysis. So, that's been well communicated to them. As long as they follow those assumptions and within the amount of impervious cover required are allowed for, they would not. And with the amount of site that they're using, they're not using a large portion of the sites to the conflicts. But that will be part of our civil review, is to make sure that it still is in line with what was previously approved.
Make a motion, we accept agenda item number 32 as presented.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, we accept item number 32 as presented.
Second motion.
Second by Mr. Chulowitz. This motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All those in favor of accepting item number 32 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries, and we'll accept item number 32 as presented. Welcome. Welcome to Montgomery. All right, item number 33 on your agenda. Consideration and possible action on the BCS Capital Development Agreement, development number 2415.
Correct. So, I know we've talked about the BCS property multiple times. BCS is here. They can provide updates and answer questions as well. So what you have in front of you is a development agreement that has been approved by the developer for action tonight. So, as you remember, we did an MOU that laid out the general scope of the improvements, the cost sharing, and the reimbursement that's in there. And that is generally how this document is working. So I will hit the high points. As we go through it, please, between myself and Alan at BCS will answer questions as you have. I guess this one, there's a lot of moving pieces to it, with roadway improvements, water improvements, drainage improvements, storm or sanitary sewer improvements, and obviously the 380 reimbursement portion of this project as well. So I'll kind of go through piece by piece. The water improvements, so just for sake of ease, they showed the exhibit on the last presentation. It is in this packet. Mine's not colored. It shows the overall water extensions required. So they will be completing, closing the water line loop from Lone Star Parkway all the way down to where it currently ends by Home Depot. They will also, the overall project will be the church's portion of the water line that will take it up CD Stewart to their northern property boundary, connecting those across to close that loop, and then finally extending across their frontage of 105 to close the loop there as well. Right now it's all dead end. So essentially for water to get from water plant 30 on 1097 to Kroger, it goes around the loop in order to get to Kroger. There is a line on the south side, but it doesn't connect until closer to 2024. So that's one portion of it. The funding of that project would be based on, they would pay for the remainder of the project. Church would pay their pro rata share of the project. The city would contribute a small chunk in front of the parcel we were just talking about, the northern of the church site, to close that loop.
That's the unsold property?
Right.
Okay.
And it just makes sense to get that completed now. That's shown up here in yellow, and they would fund that project.
So who owns that one little chunk that's left?
The Fed, huh?
I do not know. I haven't heard that it has been sold from the developer of the Fed, but it doesn't mean that it hasn't.
Right. So we can recuperate that later once it sells or tries to develop?
It's my understanding. So yes, and this is also this project is in your impact fee list. So you can, that cost will carry forward into the impact fee calculations. So you're recuperating theoretically a pro rata share from everyone.
Other question, was everything released from the HOA Architectural Committee for both of these properties, both these developments? That PD?
The Gulf Springs.
I don't believe, and Alan, you might have more information, but I don't believe they ever took official action that I'm aware of.
I know they didn't, but I didn't know if there's any legal removal of their oversight.
That's on the developer.
Okay.
The city can't enforce any kind of deed restrictions
Okay.
associated with the property. That's not the ability of the city to enforce. So, it's not something that we will consider whether we grant permits. It's, we look at our zoning and our code and making sure that they meet the city.
Does anybody know if they left, huh?
No, they're here. BCS Capital.
Oh, there they are. Yeah, never mind.
guess the reason I ask, and pardon me if I'm being crude, but if they want to put a strip club here, we have no oversight, right? I mean, say they got it rezoned, whatever, but who's to say, hey, that doesn't go within our restrictions or?
Well, the only restrictions that we can apply are our zoning restrictions.
And that's on both of those parcels, like that's for the church and then, so they could make their church lime green and we don't have a say?
Potentially, yes.
Okay. All right.
Moving on sewer improvements, the big thing here is they'll complete the line across 105 as well, including the elimination of lift station number 12. So we eliminate one lift station off of our corner, and that's one line to take care of from the city standpoint. Drainage we talked about on the site, they'll have to design the drainage, they'll have to provide analysis showing that it's adequate for the site, and that it falls in line with the accordance or the rules of that master drainage study. As it has been in other development agreements, they pay the impact fees at time of plat, and so that is in here. And the final large component, or last large component, is the roadway improvements portion of it. So the way that this is written is that there's kind of two phases of the roadway improvements project. Phase one, there's initial deposit to do the initial evaluation of the roadways from a geotechnical standpoint on the condition and final recommendations for the scope of the repairs. Concurrently, the developer will be completing a traffic impact analysis to show how that impact, the impact on the road, to develop that final scope of the improvements project. What's shown on the screen is kind of what is assumed to be part of it. So it is the Buffalo Springs improvements, as well as C.B. Stewart from the Klepper intersection south to 105. I know we talked about this, I believe, at the last council meeting, might have been 2 council meetings ago, when the developer acquired the additional 6 acres. Obviously, that opened up access to C.B. Stewart, and the current site plan, or one of the later versions of their site plan, the truck traffic would be going on to C.B. Stewart. One thing that the developer, through their TIA, is working with is putting in limits to that to control some of that truck traffic, so we're not seeing the impacts elsewhere other than the areas that they get improved roads, minimizing the effects of that. So the process here is that it would go to the deposit, get the geotechnical done, so here's exactly what the road needs to look like from a thickness standpoint, have the impact analysis done to determine the impacts of that, to come back with a final recommendation of here is the scope, updated costs based on current numbers and estimates, and now it moves forward with the design and construction of those improvements, which again will be funded by the developer. The final portion of this is the 380 component to this agreement. And so, as you remember, the initial MOU laid out a $4 million reimbursement with a 4.8 if C.B. Stewart improvements were required. So the way this agreement is worded, it is assuming that C.B. Stewart South is completed, as well as Buffalo Springs. So the reimbursement cap that is in this agreement is a $4.8 million reimbursement over a 10-year period that is funded by.
No, so your picture up there, the red line, that's C.B. Stewart South?
Yes.
The original agreement was C.B. Stewart North because of the development. The C.B. Stewart South was left out because they didn't own the 6 acres.
Right.
So that piece, that south, is not included in the 4.8.
So
what they do with their 4.8, I don't care, but it's
right.
That north part of C.B. Stewart is part of the 4.8. The only way to get the extra 8 is if they do the north part.
So what, I'll let, we'll address that part. What has changed since that original feasibility study? You are correct. It was the northern portion because that's the only thing adjacent. Unknown at the time was the layout of the apartment complex. So as it is drawn up today, the main entrance out of the apartment complex is on Buffalo Springs. So the traffic onto C.B. Stewart in that section was less than, and obviously the truck traffic drastically increased when now they have connection to the south side. So you are correct. The original feasibility study talked about the northern portion, not the southern portion, because that's the only part where they were connected to. Now that that site plan has been refined to have a secondary entrance with the main entrance off of Buffalo Springs, but the primary traffic generation coming from south of Club Road for all of it.
Either way, the north doesn't get done, I don't vote yes for that.
So the north, can they cost share that with the church? Because that's good, they've got 2 entrances on the C.B. Stewart.
It can be asked to cost share with the church.
Since there's not going to be any heavy, I say, there's no delivery entrance up there, that's going to be residential, and then the church.
Correct.
And since this will have entrances for 18-wheelers on the south? Oh, yeah, if you would like to. But just curious if,
It can be asked, I think the traffic, when you look at the church's traffic impact,
Yeah.
is very different
Certain
times,
types.
different loadings, passenger cars versus commercial trucks, which is why, and, unlike, your ordinance accounts for cost sharing of utilities. So, one thing that is in here, it talks about, there's a developer puts in a utility and they're able to collect from the neighbor that uses them, they can collect a pro rata share back. So that is acknowledged in here, and also acknowledge that that comes away from the cap, so it's not they collect from the neighbor and collect from the city. But I'll let Jack answer any questions on.
Sure.
Now, Chris, before he does, if there is a pro rata share that BCS could gain from the church or anything like that, is that going to be deducted from the 4.8 million?
That's what he said, it comes out of the cap. That's what he just said.
Okay.
So how it's currently written, the only thing in the ordinance that accounts for pro rata shares are for linear utilities, which is water and sewer. So they're extending linear utilities all the way along Buffalo Springs. And so the development, the Ramping Pond property behind Kroger, if that develops, there is an ordinance in place that allows them to collect a pro rata share over a 10-year period. So from the time they put it in to 10 years, they can collect that. If that doesn't develop in 10 years, they cannot collect. That same 10 years is the creating portion of this agreement. So both would end at the same time. So there's no double dipping of, hey, we're able to go collect $1 million from the neighbor, that would come from, we don't get also reimbursement.
Okay.
Yeah.
State your name for the record.
Big picture, Casey, I get it, you want to honor, we agree to.
Yeah, so you just said you want us to honor what we agreed to, but you don't, so don't say that.
Say it again?
I said, you just said you wanted to honor what we agreed to, but you're not doing that, so.
There was not a roundabout in the original feasibility study. There also wasn't additional paving on C.B. Stewart. The C.B. Stewart paving is shorter on what we agreed to than what we're willing to do. On top of that,
It's not the agreement, Bub. End of story. I don't have, you can explain it away all you want. You manipulated the MOU and I don't appreciate it. It was for the north side and the 6 acres. You told us you would not come back and try to, oh no, Bert, that's on us. Well, guess what? You manipulated it into your favor and that's on us. So, no. I mean, they can vote how they want, but my answer is no. We don't do the north, it's no.
we're not trying to manipulate. We also were going off numbers that were just out of thin air. And so this is a net loser for us. That portion of C.B. Stewart is going to cost over $5.3 to $5.4 million to be confirmed. So, I mean, we're not trying to, the deal has only gotten better for you guys. The amount of sales tax that we were projecting is triple what we originally presented because we purchased those 6.5 acres. The product we're going to put on the ground is going to significantly be better than what was presented and what was approved. So there's no wool over the eyes, make it look bad, put the door technique. At the end of the day, when we showed up the first time today, which is probably the 10th, we were going to execute at a much higher level than we originally presented.
So that figure of 5.4, I don't know where it came from. I think Chris estimated to us it was like around 2 to 3. Because we did the same, we actually went farther on the other side for about 2. So I don't know what you're talking about.
The 5.4 is all inclusive cost.
Exactly. So,
Right.
yeah. So,
That section, I think the 2 sections of C.B. Stewart, using rough numbers, 900,000 for one, 1.5, 1.2 for the other.
which was in the original agreement, which was actually longer if you go from north, right, and do the whole thing.
The southern is 1.2 62, right, and then the north's a little bit less. I don't want to quote something.
Now, the roundabout was in the original, I was on the Planning and
I
Zoning
agree.
Commission, and roundabout was in the very first presentation that you gave us. And you're saying it wasn't, that's not true.
Where Buffalo Springs, that highlighted blue portion of the roundabout was not included in the first feasibility study, and since the first feasibility study was given to us, they increased the cost of that over $400,000. And between the options that we had in the first, on the MOU, we were agreeing to do the north portion of CD Stewart at an estimated $800,000. What we're saying is, we'll do the south portion, which is estimated to be, I think it was between 1.6 million, and do the same 4.8. So the city is getting a more equitable deal. We're not
So
trying to-
the estimated 800,000 was not the cost, that's all we would agree to.
No, that was the cost they
That was
said.
all we would agree to.
Okay, so
Because I
they said-
remember-
no.
report that we got, the cost was $800,000.
They said the cost was 800 and we said, okay to that piece, but it wasn't that wasn't the number that we said, That's not a number we said, we wouldn't know. They knew.
The 800,000 for the CD Stewart extension?
Yeah, you were either 4 million or 4.8.
That's in
Oh.
the.
Yes, but that's in the original MOU,
Yeah.
and it was the only amount that we would agree to above the 4 million.
Yeah, we
Nothing to
said
do with the
for-
cost of the road,
we
we just
said-
said, we ain't paying no more than this.
So you're paying the same amount for more paving.
But here's the thing, you stood right here and said, when we buy that 6 acres, that chunk of road is on us, our original agreement, I don't care how we look at it, guys, our original MOU was for the north section, and the south section was on you if you bought that piece of property.
But they
You stood there and you said, I promise, we will not come back and mess with it if we pick up the 6
We're not
acres.
asking-
That is not what you promised.
Casey, we're not asking for more money.
It doesn't matter what you.
They're just swapping it. They're just doing the south side versus the
People,
north side.
a promise is a promise and a deal is a deal.
But things can change and I get it, but it's the same, we're getting
We're-
the same money, but we're getting more road.
Look, the deal was to get the whole road, because we knew
No,
they were gonna pick up the
1.8
6
wasn't
acres.
the whole road.
No, it was for the north part.
Yeah, it was
But
Clipper
he
North,
said, when
but
we
now they're
pick up
doing
the
Clipper
6
South.
acres, we will not come back to you for the south part. But basically, they're ditching
We
us
haven't-
on the north part,
What
say it's
we
on
said is
y'all.
We're not going to come ask for more money. We aren't going to come, we aren't asking.
I just think that they're going, okay, we're going to do this portion of the road versus that portion of the road, because this is where the most of the heavy trucks are going to be and the traffic is going to be.
The point is, the
I'm just
original agreement
seeing
was
an
for north.
improvement. You're
And that they
right.
said they would not change the original agreement if they picked up the 6 acres. That is not what they did.
Look, Casey, we're here, we're improving public streets, public use.
Oh, I understand, but
And our dollar, we're taking every single dollar.
But you're getting every single dollar back.
We're getting.
Yes, you are. All 4.8 million of it, you're getting it back.
Paid over time.
Does anyone have a feasibility report on them?
So, I do take,
I don't.
calling us a liar or saying that we're not doing what we're saying.
So, and again, we wouldn't be
Look,
doing
when I
these
make a
streets, we
deal,
can't
a deal's
afford
a
it.
deal. This is not the deal we agreed to. End of story.
It's a better deal.
No, it's really not, because all you did is manipulate it to your favor.
What are your current hard-written commitments for do you have somebody that's buying the apartments, or are you running the apartments?
We are currently under contract with the Morgan Group, which is a group we've had from the beginning.
And you have a written agreement with Academy?
We have a lease with Academy that is not signed.
Okay, what about the other,
We aren't signing any leases until we get this development agreement done.
what about the other pads?
We've got the Texas Roadhouse in a similar position, at least. And then we have letters of intent working with 15 other groups,
They can't.
including restaurants, large box retailers.
HEB's doing too, they're looking for their spread.
HEB only has HEB.
Oh, they got that whole.
No, they don't. The HEB only has HEB.
HEB himself.
Yeah, you said HEB, and I'm like, no, HEB's only
The
doing
adjacent
HEB.
developer.
Well, that's a different
And
developer.
he's trying to buy our site. It's a decision, and he's trying to buy he's actively trying to buy our site, but not going to sell our site. Because he can't fit everything he wants on his property. Look, this is a partnership. So we're not sitting here. What's good for us is good for you guys. We're going to put out 3 times the amount, 2 to 3 times, maybe more the amount of sales tax that we originally told you we were going to do. And so, Casey, I'm looking at you saying, okay, if it's not the same deal, I object to what you said. What I said was not going to come ask for more money. We're not here asking for money.
And what,
We are here is generating 2 to 3 times more sales tax.
we don't have the money to do this. And basically, this is not out of our pockets because it's going to be done today. And then the revenue that this project, this development generates pays for itself. This is how cities work.
Oh, I agree, but all I'm saying is that.
But we're getting a greater part of the portion of the road.
It's the most premier
for the
piece
amount.
of commercial property left in Montgomery.
Oh,
right?
I don't know about that.
It's right.
I don't
right?
agree with you on that. Yeah.
Right, I mean,
Oh,
as
not
far
right.
as face, road time, and dude, there's not one much better than that on 105. So,
Oh, yeah, there is.
as far as just, we're gonna just, we'll just take the first developer comes along. This, when you want to, come on, you talk about partnerships. I go into partnerships with people I trust, not people that try to manipulate and change deals after we've made an agreement, okay?
We were doing this to try to get this done and be equitable to the city. We're doing more work, spending more money, getting the same reimbursement. I didn't come in here, I wanted to honestly increase the reimbursement with Jack, but Jack said we're gonna do 4.8 and honor the deal. And we're doing more work.
And Casey, so yes, we did agree, but things change too. Economy changes. Obviously, interest changes. That's what made you buy the additional 6 acres. It's because interest changes, because this is a hot corner. I don't think it's the premier, but it's a hot corner, price piece of property. Things are going to change. That's why you go through several iterations and versions.
Oh, we've been, and we had an agreement.
Absolutely, and guess what? Now we're at the final word that we're pulling it across the finish line. And we've had all of these different tweaks along this way. And it's not any more than we've already said that we were going to do. And frankly, the trucks are going to be using this, and they're repairing and putting in infrastructure that the vehicles that will supply the products to this development are going to be using.
So let me make something perfectly clear. Most of the trucks come around the loop and come up Buffalo Springs. So the chunk that they're going to use is the piece that we're not developing. Because those trucks do not like 105. There's no stoplight there to protect them. They're going to come off the stoplight.
Yeah, there is, but in front of Home Depot, there is a light.
Yeah, but that's not in front of Home Depot.
That's where they go in, Casey, right here, Academy.
They're going to come in right here.
No, there is an entrance right here. That's what initially they talked about.
That was before the 6 acres. We just got done saying the trucks are going to come in on the other road.
I don't care which road they're coming in on.
I do, because we have to fix the one they tear up.
That's the one the Home Depot put in.
Well, we're gonna prevent it, we're gonna prevent the 18-wheelers, the delivery trucks from being able to exit that way.
Okay.
So, and there's ways to do that.
So that's preserving your east side. Okay.
That's your west.
And that's.
No, this is west side. It's saying no exit here.
Well, this is the side that's going to get tore up because they ain't going to fix it. It's a piece of junk now.
Are we talking about business?
Why can't they leave out here and go up this way?
There's no stoplight to get them
I
out
don't
there on
know if
that
they're
road
gonna
where
have-
there's 50,000 cars a day. We just talked about it. Come down that
Casey,
road.
have you been down Lone Star Parkway lately? You'll lose your teeth. I mean, I'm not saying
But
there's not
there's a
18 wheelers,
stoplight
but I'm
there.
saying
Get 'em
there
in and
is.
out.
Right here. This is not,
There is
they're
no stoplight right
widening,
there.
they're widening
There's no
this. No, there's
stoplight.
not. You're
So
right.
there's nothing to
But
get
there's-
them in and out of that road. They're going to want to take the stoplights. I've driven trucks. I'm on a stoplight. I'm not waiting for some crazy little car I can't see to cut me off.
So then you're saying, because there's not a stoplight if they go north or south on CB Stewart. So where are they
Yes,
gonna
there
go?
is.
No, there's not a stoplight here at Buffalo Springs.
Yeah, but how do you
There's a
get out to the
roundabout.
Lone Star? There's a
roundabout.
stoplight at Lone Star. You can't get anywhere
My
until
point
you
is
get
they
to Lone Star.
have two different turns to get to Lone Star. Why wouldn't they just go to one turn and get to Eva?
Because there's 40,000 cars on that road.
There's a lot on Lone Star.
There is.
Protected by a stoplight.
We've made a commitment.
We made a deal.
We did, we made a commitment. It's not the final deal. This is the final deal. We made a commitment. They're giving us more. This is an excellent project for the city.
I agree.
I am 100% in what y'all are doing, and I appreciate what you're doing, and I see the value.
I don't think the project is a bad project. I think that,
It's a bad deal.
yeah,
Well, we've already agreed to it months ago.
we agreed to a deal that's not up there, so.
We agreed to the amount. The amount's not changing.
We agreed to a project with an amount.
Can I ask why it's a bad deal?
Because of the
Because
fact that
it's not
we're
done.
spending too much of the taxpayers' money to pay you guys to line your pockets. A 380 agreement should be 50/50, okay?
Self-sustaining.
And we're going 100%, and that's ridiculous.
Well, we're paving, but look at what they're paving, look at the abutting property owners that they.
I'm not
they're doing
asking,
all of it.
okay, you keep going back what you're doing. All I'm saying is the 380 agreement, I'm totally opposed to. It should have been 2.2 million for us and 2.4 and 2.4 for you. And that's the only way I would go.
Then we need to raise taxes,
It would
so we
never
can
bought
afford
the
it.
site, and it would be raw land generating zero sales tax.
That's fine.
0 times.
That's fine. We wouldn't have a problem with
That's
trucks.
bad for the constituents.
I don't understand.
It's
Because what will happen is a developer that comes in with pockets will do
That's
what
right.
they want.
That's right. Somebody that would come in here and do it right. Like HEB is not asking us for $1.
Close back.
Exactly.
HEB is not asking us for $1.
They didn't buy this
Same
site.
site we got.
They didn't buy this site.
No, they didn't.
Home
because
Depot
they
didn't
had
ask
that.
us for $1, they're across the
Home
street from
Depot
you.
did ask you for $1.
Yeah, we did pay to Home Depot.
No, we didn't. They paid 100% of that road
Paid money
to
to
their
Home Depot.
section.
There was money paid back in the 380 agreement,
To-
correct?
to
Yes,
build
finance
part of the road
director
that
says
did-
yes.
That did not have anything to do with them.
They got paid back for infrastructure they put in, Casey.
Yes.
Okay, same.
They
You're getting paid back for
they paid
infrastructure they're putting in.
50%, we paid for 50%. This is 100%.
This is not 100% of
Yeah,
the work
no.
we're doing to get the sales tax y'all are
Right.
getting. I want to put that loud and clear. We're doing a ton more work than what's in that feasibility report to make this actually happen for y'all. This revenue doesn't happen without the work that we're having to do off-site and on-site. So the 4.8, you're not giving us 100% of the money back. And we're doing more work now than we were when you agreed to $4.8 million.
That's because you bought the extra 6 acres.
Irrelevant.
You know, it's the same
It is
thing.
relevant. It's extremely
You're
relevant.
changing the rules as you go along and say, oh, I'm this good, I'm doing all
I've
this
been
stuff.
working with the city staff to bring an agreement that we thought would be equitable to agree upon tonight. It's not different. So we took a portion of the road that was estimated to be $800,000 to pay. And the city was okay with that, said, we will reimburse you $4.8 million if you do that. If you do not do that, based on the TIA, we'll give you $4 million. We all agreed upon that, and we moved on. We started negotiating a deal, and then the city gave us a new feasibility report when we did the 6.5 acres. The cost for paving and other items went up $400,000 to $500,000. I don't have it off the top of my head. The city is asking us to do more work. The reimbursement amount has not changed at all. Then BCS says, we will do the south portion of CB Stewart and not the north portion. We're not going to require a TIA to do it. We will just do it. And that paving is estimated to be $1.6 million instead of $800,000. The reimbursement amount has gone up $0 in that time frame. In that time frame, BCS costs have gone up over $1.1 million. And in the time, for the sake of time, we've brought that on and said, we'll just do the south portion. We're not going to wait on the TIA. We're going to try to get this deal done. And so we brought it to you tonight, kind of conceding to get that done. So the city is getting a way better deal than what you agreed to, however many months ago it was when we did the MOU.
Casey and Tom, I know y'all are having all these kind of problems with it, and comparing HEB to this is like oranges and apples.
It's
just
really
too-
not.
it's-
It is not.
It is.
It
It's
is
just
not.
too
It's a
much.
developer,
So I'm
it's a
going to make the
developer.
motion that we accept the.
Not every developer is created equal.
That is
PS.
right.
I think we should know that by now.
Well, and
With some of our
There's
experiences.
some really good ones, and then there's some
You
that,
just said a developer's a developer. That's not the case. There are different kinds of developers.
There's different kinds.
Yep,
what I'm
and there are
saying is-
different kinds of partnerships.
yeah.
Yep.
And partnerships to me are 50-50.
Well, and some people, that's
That's what a partnership is.
not necessarily. I don't think a
Not
partnership says
necessarily.
50-50. Absolutely
I've
not.
been married for 27 years,
Absolutely
and I can
not.
tell you that is not a partnership.
I don't see anywhere it says partners 50-50.
I'm making,
No.
my thing here is, when I look at a partnership, I want it to be 50-50.
Okay, that's you. That's not the written
Well,
rule.
I agree, but why
Okay.
would the city, the constituents, our taxpayers want a 50-50 vote?
I never heard anybody say that, nor has anybody ever
Why
stated
would
that
they?
for the record.
I've never said
I don't know. If they were so interested, they should be here on the record talking about it. But they're not that interested in the 50-50.
I make a motion that we accept 33 as presented for the BCS Capital Development Agreement.
Motion by Ms. Fox to accept item number 33 as presented.
I'll second.
Seconded by Ms. Langley. This motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. It's open for discussion. All those in favor of accepting item number 33 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay.
Nay.
3 ayes, 2 nays. Number 33 is,
Can we, there was simultaneously?
it was Ms. Langley, Ms. Fox, and Mr. Donaldson is yea. Mr. Olson, Mr. Chulowitz is nay. This motion is passed.
Thank you.
Departmental reports, item number 34 on your agenda, discussion on engineer's monthly report.
Before it gets long-winded, I had an epiphany. We're doing whatever there. So the penalty, back on the consideration on that ordinance, the penalty was to shut the water off, and then the reconnect fee
So it's
is really the way that was.
Okay.
That's the fine.
He told me that, and then
Okay.
I was like, I don't even know what the fee, but it was to, because we can shut their water off and then they have to pay a reconnect.
Reconnect fee. So Al, do we even have to publicize that since the reconnect fee is already in the,
The answer would be, well, you do have the penalty
Stated.
of turning them off.
Yeah.
I would publish it to be on the safe
Mhm.
side.
Okay.
I think you have a good argument that there's no real fee associated with it,
Mhm.
because the reconnect fee has already been approved.
Right.
But just to be on the safe side, in case something challenges,
Roger.
since you have a cutoff, I would publish that.
So it's going to maintain to be tabled and as it was tonight?
No, you could approve it, and it'll just go into effect, 10 days after it's published in the newspaper.
We can untable it?
Rewind. Let's go back through all that part of the meeting again.
Since you're in the same meeting, on the same agenda, you could have a motion to take it off the table, and then you could vote on it.
Okay.
So the third-party people will tell us that so-and-so hadn't paid or hadn't got it done, and then we have to go and turn their water off.
And hopefully we don't ever have to do that. But, at least it's a threat enough to, get the ball rolling. But yeah, they'll get a letter saying, you haven't, met the requirements required by the state.
Okay.
So prior to departmental reports, or do you want to do it after?
I will do it before and get it over with.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to untable item number 23.
Second the motion.
A motion by Mr. Olson, seconded by Mr. Chulowitz, that we untable item number 23. This motion is debatable, amendable, requires majority vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have the motion carries. We will untable item number 23.
I make
Now-
a motion that we accept item number 23 as presented.
Motion by Mr. Chulowitz to accept item number 23 as presented.
I second.
Second by Mr. Olson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries. We'll accept item 23 as presented.
Ruby, does that get one of those numbers?
Good catch.
I'm sorry?
Does that get a number?
The resolution 2025-10? Nope.
That's it.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, 2025-10.
Okay.
Okay. All right, 34, discussion on engineer's monthly report.
I will hit the highlights. We'll not read every word. Just let me know if you have questions. First item, water plant number 2 improvement project. The final equipment is scheduled to be delivered at the end of this week. So they will complete the install and get it online later this month. It's currently scheduled for the 21st to have it online.
August the 21st.
August. This is this August.
It's been going on a year. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if we were talking about the first of what month.
21st of this August.
Thank you.
Moving on to page 2, the ARPA fund projects. The College Street Drainage Improvements has started advertising. We received bids tomorrow for water plant number 3 booster pump addition. So we'll, a meeting timeline, get the grant funded at the next council meeting or the following, have the award of that
And
project.
Chris, those have to be spent by the end of this year, ARPA. December 26th, I thought?
Don't know
Okay.
But we
I
had
knew that there was an expiration date.
There is an expiration date, but I do not believe it's this year.
Okay.
No, Mary Ann can tell us.
ARPA funds are expiring when? You're so formal. Good for you.
We have to spend them by December 30th, 2027, I believe.
Oh, God, that got pushed out. Didn't it used to be 25?
So we had to have them committed
Okay.
by, maybe the end of 26. In any event, we are on track.
Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, we had to have it committed by last December, which we did, and we are on track.
Okay. Good job, guys.
So they don't claw it back.
Right. Sorry, that's number 7 on your
Oh, you're
list.
good. Other kind of items to note on the page 3 of our report, 353 of your packet. We received Lone Star Waterline bids today, item 5 on this page. We had 19 bidders show up. They packed the conference room.
Might be the first time.
And prices came in really good, so, which is, I think, telling them a little bit of the market. We're seeing things tighten up, so hopefully, we had, I think, 3 bids today. Both, one was landscaping, so it's kind of off to the side, but the 2 infrastructure projects came in slightly under estimate, so hopefully that's indicative and we'll continue that trend, which would be helpful. So bids came in good. That is a legacy road funded project. Our estimate on it was roughly $500,000. Our low bid was $330,000.
Wow.
And we had a high bid of $650,000, $670,000. So it was, and there was multiple bidders in that $300,000 range. So there are some changes there. Developments are listed, again, this was written back on July the 30th, so there's been a lot of updates since then. I'm not going to go through every single one. Main one I do want to hit is HEB, so we're still working through them on approval of their civil plans. They haven't sent us signed and sealed plans yet, so we're going to text up for some approvals. And the biggest thing left with them is just landscaping compliance along the back, or their southern boundary. Right now, they just have one row of small shrubs, which doesn't.
I have a question for you on that one.
Yes, ma'am.
So I received a call from Havenshire resident because I stated that there has to be a 25-foot landscaping boundary, and they have clear cut every bit of that. So, and I was told, I don't trust you because you told me this, and I said, well, I'm telling you what the ordinance is. I'm going to go ahead and assume, that's why I wanted to ask you, that they pulled out all of the rubbish and they're going to put in landscaping along that fence line?
So there's 2 rules that apply. So you have the visual, or excuse me, vegetative setback,
Yep.
which that is a 25-foot rule.
That's right.
They requested and council approved a 20-foot variance.
Right.
So it's still a 20-foot vegetative setback. Now, vegetative setback is just defined as grass. It just is not building or paving in that 20 foot.
Okay.
So the second part of that rule is a visual barrier. And so that's where we're working through them right now. So a visual barrier can either be a fence or vegetation of, I could quote it verbatim because I do not remember, but essentially varying heights and thicknesses. So you have a 6-foot thick vegetative buffer up to 8 feet tall. So that's where they're working on right now. So right now they have 1 row of shrubs proposed on their plans, which doesn't meet that rule. So it'll have to be a mixture of trees and shrubs to have a continuous vegetative buffer all along that backside.
And it's a minimum 8 foot, right? Not a maximum 8?
Correct. There is a maximum fence just because of fencing rules, but from a vegetative buffer standpoint, it's more about the thickness of the plantings and the variation of the plantings that give the continuous barrier. Because while we're sitting here, I got a picture from one of the residents from his front porch.
The love notes. So 20 feet, so just so I'm clear, 20 feet vegetative can be grass.
Right.
And then they're going to come in with bushes and potentially trees
Correct.
to fill in that 20-foot space.
It does not have to be the entire 20.
No, but I'm saying it grows out, so then there's thickness, like there's.
It has to be 6 feet.
I believe the rule is that the plantings have to be 6 feet.
Deep.
So
6 feet.
go back. So the vegetative buffer
Okay.
is the 20-foot on the, or 25-foot variance to 20-foot on the ground has to be vegetated, which grass counts. The second component of that rule is the visual barrier.
Right.
So the visual barrier can be met by either a fence of 6 to 8 feet tall, has to be continuous, et cetera, or vegetation. The vegetation has to be a continuous screen, so it has to be a mixture of trees and shrubs. I think the ordinance says it's 6 feet wide. I can check exactly what it is for DNV that goes along that boundary. So you can meet the visual barrier requirements 2 ways. Right now, on their plans are not proposing a fence, they are proposing plantings, just not sufficient plantings, which is why the plans have not yet been approved.
It'd been a lot cheaper if they just went to cut all that brush, cut it down.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, should have just
I don't
left
know
it
why
out.
they did that.
Yeah,
And then I got sent the little Bambi that was lost, and I'm like,
It's the grade, so I mean, they're.
The grading,
doing
yeah.
a
They
large
have to grade
wall,
in front of it.
right there.
they're doing a significant grade.
I got
The game posters over there.
Other items to hit, and I'm going to skip a lot. Going on to page 9 of our report, the TxDOT improvements, as you all have seen, kind of mentioned earlier, TxDOT has started on those, or like staging and getting ready to get going on those repairs at Atkins Creek 97. We requested a schedule from them. I don't know if they responded to multiple requests for a schedule. I know they told us there's supposed to leave 1 lane open at all times, but that is intermittent lanes. And it is,
So the school starting on
yes,
Thursday?
it is, you know, timing for school traffic is,
So they have to leave 1 lane open, so then the worst that it could possibly be is a flagger on each end and let this side go for 20 cars and this side go for 20 cars?
that is what they.
And not completely closed like it was last time?
Right, they have
Okay.
stated that it's not a full closure, that they will have flagger operations to have traffic that continues, so there's not the detour that was before when it was completely closed.
How deep are the water lines supposed to be? Because the reason why I ask is I saw pictures of where they broke through the water line over there by the creek, and the concrete that was there, it's right underneath the concrete. I wouldn't imagine that it should be that shallow.
So remember, what it was when the line was put in
I was gonna
versus
say,
what it is now is
that's-
significantly different. So that line has been moved
Lots
a
of earth is
handful of
moved.
times. So when, you know, kind of repaired, put in casing, et cetera, the way that your ordinance reads, is the way that, you know, if this Lone Star Park water line is going in, where it crosses the creek, it's required to have a 10-foot cover below the bottom of the creek. So it's ultimately what it should be.
I was seeing how shallow it was.
Those lines are shallower again, because when it was put in, Gratiot Ground was a whole lot different.
Okay.
Circling back to the vegetative, it is 5 feet.
550. Okay.
We liked your 6.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything else is kind of normal updates. I'll answer your questions.
How are things at Briarly?
In terms of,
Well, I saw an email about gas, and so I've had some feedback that when we allow developers to inhabit or open for business without having infrastructure in place, which is something we all advocated we're okay with, it really does stress our resources. And in receiving that feedback, I mean, I think that maybe in the future, we really look at reconsidering that idea. But I think everybody figures up for it because we were excited about it. But, so I know that they had inhabited a home, a model home, had stuff in it, but it didn't have a CO and there was no gas in there. So they had to remove all of the items inside the home. I'm just curious as to if there's been any rub with that, or, I know, like I said, I know it stresses our resources.
I will probably default to Rick.
Okay.
Because if he's dealing with the building.
Somebody has to explain to me how it stresses our resources, because we don't have to do anything.
No, it does. Go ahead, Rick, come on up here. Yeah, there's been some things that, okay.
So, I have one
lift stations working in the Ohio sewer. So I'll release the other areas and they're turning in building applications. I did plan reviews since yesterday. So they're gearing up to get after it. There's no natural gas. In my last email I saw, it might be a month or two before we get that. So the builder took it upon themselves to go ahead and start moving into the models. And I asked them, why are you moving in? They go, well, we know we can't get a final because we don't have gas and we can't get our energy inspections done. So I go, well, that doesn't give you a right to move in. They go, well, we knew we couldn't get a final inspection. So they're, as far as I know, they're all moved in and operating.
In the model homes.
Yes.
To show
Without a
me,
CO.
when I come out there, I can tour the model home, and it's other than natural gas on,
They've had the
right?
generators on all of them, but I'm assuming now that they're getting electricity connections. So they're running off. Mid-South is the energy provider.
So
We're trying to work through with them. I've got Cooper doing their daily, trying to finish doing some inspections to get them moved along.
So the complaint was?
My complaint is I hope we don't do that on other neighborhoods, so get started before they have utilities in place. Created a big hardship. That there were crews trying to put in utility lines while people are unloading brick and lumber, to build the houses and so forth. So I just hope on future developments that we do, don't let them get that big of a start, because with the issues of that water theft, and they're going to have a guard on the water, and as we've discussed, even though everybody up here agrees, it's the little guy out there that's got a hose, he's looking where the hook's on, he sees a fire hydrant, he just goes and hooks on, mixing mud or put up brick walls or whatever. So I just think it's a good idea to release the neighborhood until they have their utilities all.
Thank you.
Did I answer the question?
Yeah, I just, so.
Was it only the gas? Or
That's
you were
At this
talking
point,
about
yeah.
the water too?
No, they have water now, I believe.
I knew they did, and then I knew they, got generators.
Is it before you got here, the water theft?
The only.
Didn't they have that water monitor
Yeah.
person? Didn't they have that water monitor person, the little short fat guy?
They weren't here at the time.
I know.
I think it's happened a couple of times. He was late.
He showed up occasionally.
Y'all advised us not to do it. We didn't listen.
Sorry, I didn't mean to divert you.
I think where we'll have to just coordinate with staff is, you do not control water, or excuse me, you do not control electric and gas services to
Right.
those buildings. So it is typical that when they complete the city's public infrastructure, the roadway, the drainage, the water, and the sewer, then you go forward with acceptance, and that's what kind of led into, hey, the streetlights are off because those come in after, go check those out after 1 year, but we'll coordinate with staff on how, what can be done in terms of all utility service. Are we saying,
Yeah.
is that communication? Is that, how does that affect?
Okay.
See what options.
I don't know, I've been hundreds of homes with no power and no water and nothing.
I got a question. I know you didn't go down there. And I want to do this in public because the agreement, developer's agreement with Town Creek Crossing. Now, that's been going on since October of '23. And I know that we're in litigation with the developer now, but we weren't for a year and a half. Why wasn't it enforced? We need to have a lesson learned to change the Town Creek Crossing. We still haven't accepted the streets because the developer has not cleared 13 or 15 punch list items. So the city is, the homeowners are not, they're paying taxes, but they're not getting the city support. And this has been going on for almost 2 years now. The punch list items, and this is our favorite developer.
So this is where sidewalks were put in, even all the guys put in sidewalks, by the one you're watching. So very similar, they cut in, they had a different contractor that did all the road paving and everything else, cut the sidewalk ramps in immediately after there was damage and cracking throughout those panels that the sidewalks were in. Punch list walk was done, said you need to replace replace the panels. They had, I believe, a geotechnical firm come out, said the panels are fine. So I can't remember discussing the council meeting, but there was discussions. I know you have to follow the punches. It's on the punches. You have to put the items that are there. And then it went radio silent. So we were working with the bonding company. The bonding company started going radio silent. We started working with Alan and the city attorney and working through and still getting kind of radio silence. But
So what do we do? What's our recourse?
So, the real problem is, we don't have, the bond wasn't in the city's name. So we don't have any contractual link to call on the bond.
So does the HOA have that?
No, we
ability?
don't have it. We can't do that. For one, we can't afford the attorney fees, but there's only 102 houses there. The point I'm making here, besides trying to get this fixed, is can we tighten up our development agreements so that they're worded so that the developer can't get out of it by saying, well, this subcontractor is at fault?
Well, yes, and we have. We've used that problem to change the way we handle some of the bonds, so that the city is actually named as a holder of the bond on these projects, and not just the developer.
So now for the BCS, is the city named as the bondholder?
They will be.
Well, the Montgomery band that we just talked about, the bond, is that set up the same way? Because that's an older one.
No, it's younger than,
It's younger.
than Town Creek Crossing.
We will make them sign an agreement and provide a bond for the extension.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Town Creek Crossing, all of that was agreed upon, that developer agreement, prior to the change.
that was all the original.
Yeah, yeah, I
There isn't a
said, it
separate
wasn't even
development
up for that,
agreement.
that's
So
what's
that's part of that
unfortunate.
20-year development
Yes,
agreement?
yes. But we learned lessons from it, and that's what we're moving forward on
Do what
that.
you want for
But,
20 years, come back.
So how do we move forward?
You like it?
well, yeah, so what is the go forward?
I don't know.
Sounds like there ain't much.
What-
I mean, unless there's legal action.
Do we
and
know
then
what
we
the
gotta-
estimate of the cost to repair those items?
I can bring it to you at the next meeting. I do not have that in front of me. I'll have to go back.
The city's
How
never,
many?
the city's never accepted them, right?
No, they have
No.
not. And I sent Chris some pictures here last week of where those cracks are getting worse because they haven't been fixed.
What streets are on that? Is that on?
It's on,
Like 110,000, 112,000?
I
know, for some reason, that's what I'm thinking.
Little dog?
Little Dog Inn
Yeah.
on,
But again, we'll look at
Town Creek
that.
Sure,
Boulevard.
but that would be good for him to know, because,
I think I have.
I mean, really, their only recourse is to hire an attorney and have the attorney go after him?
Right.
We will get that answer, I'll let you know.
And it'd be a tough one to win because the geotechnical concrete, whatever it
Yeah,
says,
says it's
there's just
down.
cracks, concrete cracks.
Right.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you. All right, 35, Public Works Monthly Report, June 2025,
Mike's out of town.
I know, so, is there any questions?
He said if there were any questions and you guys wanted anything, he would get on with
Okay.
it. when he got back.
All right, 36, Utility Operations Monthly Report, June 2025. I hope we're not here till midnight.
Do you have any questions?
It's good.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. All right, 37, June 2025 PD and CEPZA report. And Lieutenant Belmars.
Mayor, council, good evening. You have a report for me. You all have any questions?
Thank you, LT, it's good. I'm happy.
Is there anything you would like to talk about?
No, just want to give you all a reminder that our Faith and Blue will be coming up on October 7th, so we'll be looking forward to seeing you all. That's it.
I've already seen, I think, a Facebook
Yes,
thing.
that's correct.
Looks good.
I volunteered.
I will push out that email.
Thank you. Number 38, June 2025 Municipal Court report. Ms. Duckett.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. You have the court report in front of you. Any questions from this report?
No?
Have a great evening.
Thank you. All right, 39, financial report, June 2025, as if we haven't talked about finances.
Well, I got a lot of questions.
Let's start with page 382.
I spent about 40 minutes on the phone with her.
Yeah, good, but you got them, so we don't
I
have
got
to
all
stay
the
here?
answers. I
Okay.
don't have any answers. No questions.
Just kidding.
Don't have any areas. of
I know she's happy to
concern.
answer.
Revenues are still outpacing expenditures, and all departments are right where we would expect them to be 75% through the year.
Cool.
Thank
Good,
you.
thank you. All right, and number 40, building official report, June 2025.
Got my report here, things are picking up. I included this time a year-to-date report just to see the volume that's going on. Pulte's are picking up, they're starting the haters in building applications over in Montgomery Bend. So all the neighborhoods that have been kind of slowed down, it seemed like, or pushed back there. Rarely, like I said, there's about 24 applications there.
The construction over on Lone Star Parkway, I'm forgetting the name of that development there, over just by the dental office.
Yes.
They haven't been doing any work there in 5 weeks.
So they've been working, there's the two issues that have been mainly working through. They found a couple of natural springs through their excavations.
Ah.
So they were having to install a significant French draining system to capture that groundwater and get it to where it needs to go. And then the walls have taken them a lot of time.
Yeah, well, because of that,
They
too.
slowed
Yeah.
down between the walls and then the drying out of the springs.
I was just curious, because they really started like gangbusters, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, no, I mean,
nobody there.
I mean, they haven't even, at least last time I was by there, they don't have pipe or anything on site.
Thank you, sir. I think
Thank
we're
you.
good.
Nope, nope, thank you.
Thank you. Lots of activity, for sure. Appreciate you. All right, I will entertain a motion to accept the departmental reports as presented.
I'll make that motion.
A second?
Langley, and everyone seconds it?
Yep.
All in favor of accepting the departmental reports? It's, who seconded it?
Casey.
Wilson. Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it, the motion carries. We'll accept all of them, all the departmental reports as presented. Council inquiry.
On September the 23rd is a function that most city employees or city council would be attending. So what could we do about that September 23rd city council meeting? Because it would be the second one of the month. Can we cancel now? Do we move it to another day? What would you do? If you know now you're going to not have a quorum, what would you do?
Well, I guess.
I would put on the agenda to bring it back. If you want to move the meeting to Thursday, we can, or if you need to cancel it, then that would be a council decision. But I can bring it back on the agenda for a council decision.
Marianne, do we need anything passed before October 1st, or is it October 30th? Any last minute stuff that we have to have done?
The special meeting that we'll have on that public hearing and meeting on the 15th will take care of everything that we need for budget purposes.
Okay. Okay, just making sure we didn't need that meeting to make sure we could pass something.
So I guess if there's a development need, then let's reschedule, but if there's not, yeah, I'm saying cancel, but if a developer or somebody needs us to approve something, then we can maybe, can we just keep touch and go until we go to that date?
You can do it Monday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
With that being said, the October 28th, second council meeting of the month is the week for TML, and three of the council members are going to be present at the TML event. Did not know if you wanted to try to cancel that or reschedule it.
Is there a CCPD on the week before, that Monday before?
That Monday, I
the week-
believe we will have one. They're already making discussions to start moving forward.
Yeah, so yeah, that's right. So maybe move that Monday before that, I don't have the date
But
in
we
front
have
of
2
me.
meetings a
be-
week apart.
Yeah.
We don't have a
You
week
can do
apart.
it that, you can move it to Monday, the 27th, that way
Yes.
the council members can go to the meeting on, or head to the meeting on the 28th.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Do that.
That's-
okay.
So do we need to,
We had to
You're
vote
gonna put that on the
Is that council
agenda?
inquiry, or we have to vote that
I will
in?
bring it back on the count, on
Yeah.
the next agenda for council action.
Okay,
Okay.
We want an agenda item to officially move the date.
move the date?
so September, we'll just see as business is needed. In October, we'll put it on the agenda to move. Okay.
Okay.
For you? Anything?
So we'll have to vote on canceling the September meeting
Yeah.
as well?
Yes, that's correct.
But we won't know anything until September. Right?
Yeah.
Mr. Donaldson, how you doing down there?
I'm doing good, but I do want to, I don't see the need for a capital improvement advisory committee. Since it was set up, it's never been formulated, never had a meeting, doesn't have any officers. It's just sitting there and no activity. And even though I think the Transportation Advisory Committee has a good thrust and is set up, I don't see the need for these two committees. We've had the Transportation Advisory Committee for over 2 years. We haven't elected any officers. We don't have a regular meeting schedule. Right now, the TxDOT has decided to meet with us every 6 months, which I think is a good improvement, and I think that's a good time to have the people that were committed to this committee to be there for those meetings. But otherwise, I don't see a need for either one of these committees. I mean, that's just my opinion.
So
You may think it's more important to keep.
CIP, I totally get, so you're right, that's never taken off. And like the park board, I don't know what's going on with the park board either. But transportation, because we have so many important stakeholders in that meeting, I'd like to continue that. I think it's healthy.
Annual one, just annually, or the text dot?
No,
Just, can you have it during the text dot?
The TxDOT meeting, like, not annually, because they do things without telling us.
They've agreed.
And we were able to stop
They
that
don't
whole
always tell
business
you
over
when
here.
they're gonna happen.
Yes, they've agreed to meet with us every 6 months.
Every 6 months.
And then, to discuss, I mean, some of
That's
the,
fine, I mean, we can
Or
do that.
quarterly.
If somebody wants to attend as well from the council, but
Sure.
I can always make a report, just give you the report of what's going on.
we just had a resignation from the Transportation Advisory Committee today, so,
Who was that?
the lady from Conroe.
Oh, yeah. She hadn't been there for
Sarah,
long.
the park board though,
Yeah.
we hadn't had a meeting over a year. I think Mike pretty much disbanded it.
If I can address the CIAC.
Yeah.
So that one is by the Planning and Zoning Commission, serves that capacity, is already in the impact fees. So when they voted on their review of the impact fee changes, they did that acting as the capital impact advisory committee. That was why it was set up, and that is still its function today. It's just really impact fees.
Okay.
So that's fine, so take that off the board. But
The transportation.
the transportation, I get what you're saying, and I'll be more than happy. I'd like to go just because I like to keep an ear to the ground. But I know that we created that because of lack of trust prior to, so, but you're starting to earn our trust. Don't let that go to your head. But anyway, well, I appreciate you. You did a great job. So it's fine if it's twice a year, and I guess maybe
They
put it.
do regional meetings anyways when they do that, they stop it. Multiple-
So understand they hadn't been here in over 2 years, and we hadn't talked to them, or at least they were being ignored by the city, their words. And so we started asking for a lot of meetings because there was changes coming to the city that we were not aware of, and actually accidentally found out about it because Stan and I went to HGAC. And
We had a meeting with them here.
so, but y'all are engaged, but Chris, there was a time where there was no engagement. And
Correct.
the TxDOT. And so I think that cadence has changed and that relationship has changed. And just want to make sure that we stay sticky with them because it has been 1097, we had asked them to come up here for a year and a half and they ignored that. And then look what happened.
Correct. I mean, I think that the changes in the text communication is Zach's probably talking to the 105 team
Yeah.
once a week.
Good.
On that coordination aspect.
Thank you.
And then the meetings that they're having on updates have been working.
Okay.
So, yes, we're
As long as we don't have any
more of a
surprises.
heads up than we've had in the past.
Okay. So then with that being said, do you think twice a year is good, or do you think it annually? I mean, you're talking to them all the time, which is great, and you're going to continue that. So what do you think then? With that happening once a year, give us an update?
From the TAC?
From TechStop.
I think the biannual meetings with their planning
Okay.
and engineering group work.
Okay.
And then obviously any additional coordination on individual projects, we have ad nauseum. We have a.
I like it.
Area engineer.
Cool. Thank you. That's good to know.
They done the community updates?
So typically they post those in Craigslist, I don't know where, but, and they've had them at the high school that not even the high school knew about or MISD knew about, which was wild. So we have not been on that distribution list, or if we were, nobody knew about it. Anyway, but I think that constant communication that Zach is carrying, so thank you. So we'll know when they do, because I know that there is something coming up. I think they announced it, I don't know if it's like in 4 months, 6 months, but I saw where they were going to come up here and have another community meeting. So later this month? Okay. If we could just make sure that that's on our website too, and a social media post to ensure that residents know about that, that would be helpful and appreciated. Because truly what they were going to do here was not going to be the best, and it was going to be very challenging for the residents in the city and the church, and we were able to get that stopped. So.
Stop the railroad. Might just pay right on.
Right. Okay, any other council inquiry? Okay, closing agenda. Number 41, items to consider for placement on future agendas. I think we said that meeting, all that. Anything else?
My grandson is a member of the Marine Corps JROTC at the high school. And a little over a year ago, they brought in 2 new master sergeants to run the program. And these guys have been phenomenal. They had, this last year, they took in like 60 trophies. They actually went to the national competition in Orlando, Florida, because these 2 guys have done such a great job. My son's drafting up a promulgation, if you will consider that for a future meeting.
Yeah.
These guys, when you meet them, they're amazing. I've been to a lot of the meetings and everything, and they turned that program around totally.
Yeah, it was.
And now they've even got the other high school is shuttling the kids over to, and it's expanded because of these guys.
Good. That's awesome.
So I'll get you the
Program
promulgation.
wasn't terrible. My daughter was in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Carrie was in it.
When the colonel was still there.
Yeah, he was good, but he left and then.
Yeah, he retired that year.
And then the other guy just didn't do a very good job. These 2 guys that are now, they're really doing a phenomenal job.
Good. And the CTE Center opens Thursday. So that'll be in our city limits. So if you haven't seen that, that's
Yep,
exciting.
yep.
Okay, items on the agenda, anything? So a proclamation
Yeah.
for the MHS.
Ruby, I'll get you the
ROTC.
information.
Okay. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Motion by Julie, second by Fox. All those in favor say aye. You say aye. Oh, it's closed, 8:34. Adjourn this meeting. I'm like, you cheated.
Well, I'm
I swear I
happy
saw,
about it. I'm ready to
I
do
swear
it.
I saw that somewhere.
MEDC got canceled.
Have a good one.
That's what I said. It was the